I'll be done when I'm done, okay? Until you sit here, you can sit there and listen to me.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream. We are back here yet again for another Watch with Nordic stream here in the final week of the regular season. We got a good matchup here today. It's between the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers. Now, you may think that in a game like this, there really isn't a lot to play for. Well, for one team, that may be true. For the other team, they're fighting for something here. Let's take a look at these two teams and their records as the anthems go on right now. The Avalanche are pretty much locked up. They have 2 games to go on their schedule, and things are basically set in stone for what is to come for them. 52, 16, and 11 this season with a 6-3-1 record in their last 10. They recently clinched the President's Trophy to win that title. And obviously, again, the Oilers on the other side in the Pacific Division, they are looking to clinch the divisional spot here. They're not necessarily there just yet, but a win tonight would put them much closer. 40, 30, and 10. They're also 6-3-1 in their last 10, and they are 1 point out of first place in the Pacific. Getting ready to get started here. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. Starting goaltenders here tonight on both sides. Scott Wedgwood is in net for the Avalanche, playing in his 5th live commentary. And on the other side is Connor Ingram, playing in his 7th live commentary stream here tonight. And we are ready to get underway here from Rogers Place between the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche. It should be a great matchup here tonight. Looking at the numbers furthermore, Ingram 15, 10, and 2, a 2.72 goals against average, and a .896 save percentage with the Oilers this season. He came out midway through the year and has played very well. On the other side is Scott Wedgwood, who has been one of the best goaltenders in the NHL this season, 29, 6, and 6, with a .918 save percentage as we head into the final games of the year. And we are ready to get started here. It's a classic matchup. Nathan MacKinnon versus Connor McDavid. And Brock Nelson, shout out to him. He's playing in his 1,000th game tonight. He will center this line for Colorado. We are underway. Avalanche and Oilers here from Rogers Center. Puck is dumped down low into the Colorado zone. Brent Burns tried to play that one away. Oilers will attempt to keep that one in. Connor Murphy battling for it down low alongside with Burns. In the corner there as well as Szymanski. Played back around them behind the net. Kulak tries to poke it to center. Down low in the corner, in front then, trying to get that one was Colton Dock. Oilers starting out their 3rd line here on the ice to open up this game. Murphy down low in the corner, battling for it then with Kelly. Banked off the boards then by Edmonton. Frederick, cross-ice pass to McDavid is broken up. Now with speed the other way is Colton, who will get this one to center. Connor McDavid down low here now in the Edmonton zone. We'll give it up then for Darnell Nurse behind the net. Back over then for Murphy. Cleared to center. Podkolzin will dump this one down low and slides in on Wedgwood, who will make the save at 18:57. It may seem like that for one team, but not necessarily for both teams. The Oilers are looking to still get first place in the Pacific, so these points do matter to them a little bit. Maybe not as much to Colorado, but this game does matter in a sense. Face-off here in the Colorado zone is won by the Avalanche. They will clear it to center. Bouchard, cross-ice pass to Ekholm. He'll dump it down low then into the Avalanche zone, and an icing here against the Oilers at 18:48. And tonight, Isaac Howard returns to the lineup here for the Oilers. He was up at the beginning of the season, was sent down midway through the year, and has been in Bakersfield for most of the season. And now he finds himself caught up here with the final couple games to go here for the Oilers. At center now, Connor McDavid will take it back and regroup in the Edmonton zone. McDavid looking for options. Carries it down the right side past Landeskog. McDavid up top, then the Bouchard a shot, and that one is blocked. Here's Brent Burns on the right side. Tried to clear it to center. Colorado will regroup here in their own end, intercepted by the Oilers. Bouchard holding it at center, over 90 points on the year. Cleared back down low again, then into the Colorado zone. Malinsky takes it around behind the net. Battling for it down low is Roslovic in front. Howard jabbing at that puck on Wedgwood, and the Avalanche break it free. Here's Kelly now through center. Will chip it down low into the Edmonton zone. What's up, Von Hook? How we doing? Roslovic tried to poke check it to center. Blackenberg over then down low for a Con. Back over then to Nick Waugh. Avalanche regrouping here in their own end. Blackenberg down low in the Colorado zone will hold and look for options. Down low now here with that puck is Zakhar Bardakov. Expecting to see most of the Avalanche's players who you haven't really seen that much this year. They are playing most of their top guys, but obviously maybe not going at 100% here per se. Battling for it on the right side, then puck will slide back down low into the Colorado zone. Jack Acham will clear this one to center. Battling for it here on the right side. Bardakov below the line, feeds it up top to the point. Burns shoots it. That one is blocked. Regrouping then at center is Kulak. Back over then for Bardakov. Bardakov down low for Kulak, who will handle this puck. Carries it through center then. Trying to evade him there was Doc. He'll dump it down low into the Avalanche zone. Now Evan Bouchard behind his net then for Ekholm. Cleared to center. Frederick. Drop back then for Ekholm. Cross ice pass to Szymanski. If the puck is tipped down low into the Avalanche zone. Kulak backhands it off the boards to center. Colton Doc will clear it down low then. Back over for Jake Wallman. Wallman down low here now off the boards for Doc. Doc will carry it into the Avalanche zone. Battling for it on the right side there with a Con. Oilers tried to keep that one in. Avalanche ended up getting it back to center. Here's Wallman. Clears it down low in on Wedgwood, who will make the save at 6:13 and cover that one up. Players to watch tonight, per my choice, and it's two of the best players in the NHL, Connor McDavid and Nathan MacKinnon. McDavid, number one in the NHL with 133 points. These are two players that are on pace to win not only the Hart Trophy, but also be in contention for the Art Ross as well. McDavid, 133 points, first in the NHL. MacKinnon, 126 points, number 3 in the NHL. He's played phenomenal this year. Two of the best players in the world facing off tonight. Here's Bouchard, down low now in the Edmonton zone. He'll play it up to McDavid then, and will carry it through center. McDavid will drop it back to Ekholm. Podkolzin will fire it wide of Wedgwood. On the right side, McDavid trying to get that one back. Connor McDavid holds it above the top circle. Puck is cleared to center then. Now Ekholm will grab it back for the Oilers. Matthias Ekholm trying to get around Martin H's there. Cross ice pass then for Bouchard. Bouchard moves in, fires it. It's deflected up in the air and out of play. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. We only have, after tonight, 2 more streams in the regular season, and that sets up a very exciting playoff run here on the channel coming up in a little bit. Playoffs start on April 18th, which is this upcoming Saturday. It should be a very fun playoffs for sure. We'll see both these two teams, hopefully plenty of times. Face-off in the Avalanche zone is won back then by the Oilers. Nurse over then to Howard up top. Murphy is shot into the glove of Wedgwood. And there's our first save of the game. Go Oilers, Alexandra. Love to hear that. We support both teams here in this one. Shots are actually 3-0 in favor of the Oilers. They weren't bothering to put the shots on the clock, so I really didn't even know how many there were. So I apologize for that. Face-off coming up here now again in the Avalanche zone. It's won back by the Oilers. Oilers, again, as I said, they have something to play for here tonight. Not necessarily the Avalanche, but obviously, again, you're going to still play the Oilers hard. Here's Kiviranta racing for an open puck down low in the Edmonton zone. Picking it up top, then coming in is Drury. A backhand on is denied by Ingram. Avalanche pressure. Burns at the point. Tries to fire it on. Burns shoots it into the chest of Connor Ingram at 15:09. All right. Nice chance there for the Avalanche. Ingram getting tested here early. How do I feel about the Penguins making the playoffs as a Flyers fan? It's good to see Crosby back in the playoffs, to be honest with you. It's cool to see, to be honest. Even though the Flyers will probably play them if we do make it tonight. It'd be cool. Face-off one here by the Avalanche. Here's Taves back down low to McKinnon. Try to feed a pass in front. Oilers will get it back to center. Avalanche dump that one down low. McKinnon up top to Taves. Taves cross-ice pass. Malinsky is shot into the chest of Connor Ingram at 14:52. And now the Avalanche getting some shots on here. My camera is still a little bit glitchy. I'm not exactly sure why, so I apologize for that. I'll do my best to try and fix that up here before the next stream. I think it may just be I need to refresh my camera, to be honest. Face-off here is won by the Avalanche back into their own zone. Malinsky pass over to Taves. Taves through center is chipped off the boards then by the Oilers, who will break it through center. Puck goes into Savoy, and the whistle is blown dead at 14:37. Dave Hackstall is the coach on duty tonight as Bednar took a puck to the face in Avalanche versus Golden Knights. And it's not common, but you never want to see your coach get hit in the face with a puck the way he did. And as a result, he's not going to be in the hell behind the bench for these next two games for the Avalanche, which is okay. It's not necessarily needed for him to be there. Here's Taves. Over to Malinsky. Oilers keep it down low. Then Henrique will dump it around McKinnon. Kapanen battling for it on the right side. Then with Nelson. Cleared back around them behind the net. Avalanche will steal it back. Nichushkin off the boards. Kapanen's waiting there. Kasperi Kapanen fires in on Wedgwood. He'll make the save. And the rebound is covered up. I don't know why they're not bothering to account of any of the Avalanche's shots, but I'll just follow what the network says as of right now. 14:08 left to go here in this first period. Again, if the Oilers get 2 points in this game tonight, they will move into sole possession of first place in the Pacific Division. So there is something to be had here in this game. It's not just a meaningless game in April. Face-off here down low in the Colorado zone. Puck is cleared to center. Backhanded down low. They'll jab at that puck. Grab back at the line then by Drury. Drury back over then for Bardakov. Bardakov on the right side for Emberson. Down low. Oilers regroup with it. Wallman cross-ice pass to Emberson, who will dump it to center. Getting it back then is Roslovic at the line. He'll clear it into the Avalanche zone. Oilers try and keep that one in. Howard. Below the line then for Edmonton. Roslovic fires it. Denied there by Wedgwood. Oilers will regroup here now at center. Nurse. Over to Murphy. Connor Murphy will dump this one in on Wedgwood. He'll make the save. Avalanche will regroup here in their own end. Here's Brett Kulak now carrying it through center. Kulak will dump it down low into the Edmonton zone. Nurse on the right side. Frederick, cross-ice pass. Here's Nurse through center. And a shot on there is denied by Wedgwood. 7 minutes gone by here in this first period. Avs and Oilers are scoreless. All right. So I'm going to cut transmission here. Right now, Carolina's about to shoot against Philadelphia in round 4. And if the Vladar makes the save, the Flyers clinch. And he makes the save! The Flyers are going to the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2026. The Eastern Conference is wrapped up. And when it looked like it was impossible, my Philadelphia Flyers are going to the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time in 6 years. Wow. Anywho, let's get into our actual commentary here. Status report here tonight between these two teams. It's a long one. The Avalanche will be without coach Jared Bednar their next 2 games after he was struck by a puck during the 3-2 overtime loss to the Vegas Golden Knights on Saturday. Josh Manson was injured in the second period Saturday and will not play. So the Avalanche dealing with more injuries here, which is not ideal at all. Draisaitl participated in morning skate. The forward will not play. There is no timeline for a return, but it is good to see him on the ice. With the injury that is there, it's good to see Draisaitl on the ice. The Oilers will be without Jones for 3 to 4 weeks after he was left in the first period of a 1-0 loss to the LA Kings on Saturday. Howard was recalled from Bakersfield of the AHL on Sunday. So that is your status report here between these two teams tonight. We'll go over the exact lineups later on tonight, but again, it's mostly all of the top guys for each side, minus a few due to injury. Not in this game tonight is Cale Makar. He has been out for a while. It's been a couple of weeks here since these two teams have played. Or it's been a couple of weeks since he has played. Sorry, not since these two teams have played. So hopefully he'll be okay back for the playoffs, but haven't really heard that much on him. Face-off here now is won by the Oilers. Shot on is denied by Wedgwood. So my Philadelphia Flyers make the playoffs. Wow. I did not expect them to be in here. I wanted to stream them today, but I had something going on earlier in the day, which is okay. But it is what it is. Face-off coming up here now in the Avalanche zone. Enough about my Flyers. We got a game to commentate here today. It's going to be Roslovic taking the draw against Nicholas Waugh. Shots are an updated 7-2 in favor of the Oilers here so far in this opening period. Down low now at the line. Shot on is wide of Wedgwood. Thrown back up top then. Howard behind the net then for the Oilers. Battling for it down low in the Avalanche zone. Nurse poke checks it around Kiviranta. Kulak battling for it then with Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins battling for it on the right side. Kulak over then to Burns. Burns off the board. Shot on there. Denied by Wedgwood again from Murphy up top. We've seen a lot of him tonight already. Darnell Nurse holds it down low here in the Edmonton zone. Nurse will look for options. He'll throw a cross-ice pass up to Bouchard. Evan Bouchard will hold it at the line. Pass down low to McDavid. McDavid takes it behind the net. Connor McDavid evades Natchez. Up top then for Ekholm. Ekholm will dump it down low in the corner. Tays battling for it then on the right side. Podkolzin trying to get it free there as well. Ekholm will dump it down low furthermore. Malinsky fighting with Savoy. Matt Savoy down low, stolen back then by Landeskog. Up top, McKinnon. Cross-ice pass to Tays. Here's Tays through center, one-on-one. Pass up top then to Natchez. Shot on is blocked. McDavid will take it behind the net then for the Oilers. Now Bouchard will carry it through center and dump it down low into the Avalanche zone. Shots are a whopping 8-2 in favor of the Oilers here in this opening period. Bouchard will dump it down low into the Avalanche zone. Blackenberg played off the boards then in the corner. Battling for it then was Akan. It's cleared to center. Edmonton will steal it back. Jake Wallman down low in his own zone will throw it to center. McKinnon carries it right back in. Kelly with speed. Shot on there goes wide. Up top then Akan will dump it down low into the corner. Brock Nelson is 1,000th game tonight. Up top for Blackenberg. Down low then, Colton. Back over for Blackenberg, who fires it on. Save rebound in front. Jabbing at that puck was Nichushkin. And the Oilers will clear it away from the house. It's kept in the zone, though, by the Avs. Akan will throw it down low in the corner. Nichushkin trying to get that one free. Emberson battling for it on the right side. Colton to Nelson. Back over then for Colton. Oilers will get it back to center now as Kapanen will play it back furthermore into the zone. Emberson over for Wallman as we approach the halfway mark of this opening period. Shots are 8-3 in favor of the Oilers. Not a lot of whistles, which is common in a game like this. Burns off the boards and back down low then into the Edmonton zone. Ingram out of his own net to play it. And it's fired back to center. Trying to break it through there was McDavid. Stolen back then by Landeskog. Landeskog over for McKinnon. McKinnon on the right side. Picked back up then by McDavid. Here he comes with speed. He'll get around Burns. Poke checked away there by Kulak. Nice defensive play there, preventing McDavid from a highlight reel. McDavid gets it back, though, up top to Bouchard. Slap shot goes wide of Wedgwood. Here's Natchez. Down low in the corner for Colorado. Natchez will give it back then for Kulak. Kulak held off then for Natchez now as it's a 2-on-3 the other way. Natchez carries it into the zone. Down low, Drury, a shot saved by Ingram and kept in by the Avalanche. Bardakov dumps it around behind the net. Getting there is Drury. Fed back up top then for Malinsky. Behind the net then on the right side, getting it back is Devon Toews. Shot on there on Ingram is denied. Now Drury battling for it behind the net. I'm very happy the Flyers are in, Sharky. May not look like it now, but I definitely am. Malinsky shoots it wide. Up top, shot on, stopped by Ingram, rebound in front for Drury. Oilers trying to clear away, Avalanche keep it in. Toews throws it back then behind the net. Bouchard kicks it off the boards then for Doc. Colton Doc will backhand this one furthermore into the Colorado zone. And at 8:42, we have an icing here against the Oilers, and they have been hemmed in their zone for the last couple of moments here. Face off here in the Edmonton zone. Shots are 8-5 in favor of the Oilers. You lost your voice, I bet. Face off one back then by the Avalanche. Shot from up top is blocked there by the Oilers. Szymanski trying to play that one through center. His first NHL goal was an own goal against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Blackenberg up top to Akan. Akan cross ice pass, then the Nichushkin's broken up. Doc tries to get it to center. Oilers will regroup here now down low in their own zone. Bouchard behind the net then for Edmonton. Bouchard cross ice pass is tipped as it slides into the Avalanche zone. And that is another icing against the Oilers at 8:12. Yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled. It's happy to see. It's good to see this group of guys in the playoffs this year. It's going to be a lot of fun to see them. What's funny is that they made it before a certain team that a certain friend of mine is a fan of, who I think is in the chat right now. So, that makes things pretty funny. Face off here in the Edmonton zone. It's not any of you guys, by the way. Toews, shot on there is blocked. Landeskog battling for it on the right side. Bouchard tries to clear to center. Edmonton gets it there. Regrouping down low here in the Colorado zone is Malinsky. Sam Malinsky behind the net then for the Avalanche. Will give it up for Marty Natchez. Natchez carries it through center. Back over to Landeskog. Landeskog cross ice pass to Toews. Picked back up then by the Oilers. Bank back to center then. Howard battling for it with McKinnon. Picked back up by Toews down low in the Colorado zone. Natchez over to Malinsky. Oilers try and keep that one in. Avalanche will get it back to center. Not a lot of whistles here in these last few minutes, and the ones that have been, it's been icings. Malinsky tries to clear it down and away. He'll get it there successfully. It'll slide back down low into the Edmonton zone. Nurse on the right side, try to get it to center. Keeping it in then is Kulak, who will dump it down low in the corner. On the right side, Waugh up top to Kulak. Stick is broken. Savoy trying to carry this one through center. Podkolzin will dump it down low into the Avalanche zone. Now Wedgwood back over for Burns. Burns, cross ice pass to Kulak, who will try and dump it down low. Henrique on the right side then for Murphy, who will get it back to center for Nugent Hopkins. 3-on-4. Roslovic into the zone, drops it back for Nurse's shot. Blocked in front, rebounds there. Denied as well. And the Avalanche will clear. 6.5 minutes to play here in this opening period. The Oilers and the Avalanche are scoreless. Here's Blackenberg. Behind the net then for Colorado. They will clear it back into the Edmonton zone, and at 6:16, that is an icing now against the Avalanche. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that. Listened last night to this channel. Looking forward to the playoffs. Hopefully double headers. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so the plan is for the Stanley Cup playoffs, I saw kind of a mock-up of what the first weekend's going to look like. It looks like there's going to be 3 games on Saturday and 4 games on Sunday. And guess what? We will be live for all of them. So 7 commentaries this upcoming weekend. It's just a matter of who. Here's Connor McDavid on the right side here for the Oilers up top. Bouchard trying to deke into the zone. Bouchard will drop it back then for McDavid up top. Back then for Ekholm. Ekholm carries it down the right side. Down low in the corner, battling forward is O'Connor as well. Ekholm trying to get that one free, battling forward with Podkolzin. Here's Blackenberg clearing it off the boards then back into the Edmonton zone. Bouchard will hold it here for Edmonton. Bouchard at center ice. Cross ice pass then is broken up by the Avalanche. Nelson ahead then for Kelly, who will dump it down low into the Edmonton zone. I keep saying Kelly, I mean Colton. Nichushkin at the point. Cross ice pass to Malinsky. Broken up then. Avs get it back. Nichushkin down low. Shot from Colton is denied. And Edmonton will get this one the other way. Kapanen, 2-on-1 developing here. Kapanen comes into the zone, loops it back around. Good little poke check away as he was knocked off the puck. But the Avalanche get it back. Holding it behind the net then is Malinsky. Both teams are going to get a line change off here. Avalanche will hold it behind the Colorado net. They'll break it through center. Natchez over to McKinnon. A shot denied by Ingram. Good stop there by Connor Ingram as it's cleared back into the Colorado zone. Blackenberg. Drop back then for Landeskog. Through center then is Jacka Khan, who will fire it on. It's blocked there by Connor Murphy, and the Oilers will clear it back to center. Grabbing it back down low then in the Avalanche zone is Kulak. 4:20 to go here in this first period. There have been hardly any whistles over these last couple of minutes. I imagine that ice is very, very snowy. McKinnon, cross ice pass to Burns. Shot on there is denied as the puck goes up in the air and out of play. And finally at 4:07, we will have another commercial break. Still scoreless here in Edmonton. Some good chances for both sides, but the goalies have stood tall. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. Helps out with the engagement. Brings more people into the wonderful commentary. Pretty good game so far from both sides. Very even shots from both sides. Good chances there. That's the kind of hockey game you want to see from these two teams. Fast pace, entertaining. That's a definite. It is hot in this room for some reason. I'm turning on the fan. I am hot in this room right now. 4:07 to go in this first period. So again, as I said, I kind of spoke on it a little bit. I told Todd a little bit. It looks like, unless if the schedule changes, but regardless of whether it changes or not, we'll be live for all the commentaries this weekend, or all the playoff games this weekend, unless some of them overlap. But it looks like there's going to be 3 games on Saturday the 18th, and then 4 on Sunday the 19th. I saw some rumors of what those games could be. I saw a little bit of how the Wild and the Stars may play on Saturday. I really don't know, to be honest with you, what the leadoff will be. But regardless of what it is, we will be live for it. So I do want to make sure that message is out there. I already have my schedule pulled up. We are going to be live for about 20 commentaries over the next week. So it's going to be an unbelievable first week of the playoffs. 20 live commentaries. I don't know if my voice can handle it. I might be dead by the end of things. But it's going to be an incredible run here for this channel. I'm so excited. Face-off here now in the Edmonton zone is won back then by the Oilers. Shots are dead even at 9 apiece here in this first period. McDavid. Cross-ice pass, then the Bouchard. Bouchard will drop it back, then the Savoy. Savoy fires it on Wedgwood. He'll make the save. Landeskog back then behind the net for Taves. Grabbed on the right side by Malinsky. Thrown to center. Landeskog drops it back from McKinnon. Up to Natchez on the right side. Marty Natchez loops the puck around. McKinnon up top and forced back to center. Here's Nathan McKinnon with speed. He'll get around McDavid. Broken up then by Bouchard. But the Avs keep it in. Natchez gets tied up there by two Oilers. McDavid now moves it through center. It's a 2-on-3. McDavid loops around. Pass is intercepted there. And Kelly forces him back to center. He still has the puck. Here's Ekholm. Holding it down low now in the Edmonton zone. About 3 minutes to go here in this opening period. Below the line, then Oilers handle that puck. It's cleared down low into the Avalanche zone. That is an icing at 3:04 against the Oilers. Potential first-round opponents for these two teams. For the Avalanche, it's pretty much just, well, whoever the hell is there at the end of the year. Again, they're still currently, obviously, in that President's Trophy first-place spot in the entire NHL. And they will play whoever makes the Western Conference wildcard seed. It could be the LA Kings. It could be the Nashville Predators. It could be the Anaheim Ducks, to be honest with you. There's a lot of options here for who Colorado's opponent could be. For the Oilers, it seems like it's down to two teams. It'll probably be either the Golden Knights or the Ducks would be the likely opponent for the Oilers in the first round of the playoffs. Up top, Burns is shot on, goes wide of Ingram. Down low in the corner, Howard. Battling for it then with Murphy down low. 2:40 left to go here in this first period. On the right side, Edmonton trying to get this one out of the zone. Roslovic ahead then for Nugent Hopkins. Drop back and dump down low into the Avalanche zone. Wah holds it down low in the Colorado end. He'll give it back then for Brent Burns. A little over 2 minutes to go here in the opening frame. Puck is banked off the boards and into the Edmonton zone. Nelson battling for that puck. Stolen back then by Edmonton. They clear it to center. Blackenberg down low here in the Colorado zone. Back over to Jack Akan. Akan will clear it down low into the Edmonton zone. Wallman battling for it with Nelson. Szymanski's there as well. Emberson thrown back to center. Here come the Oilers now through center. They'll dump it down low into the Avalanche zone. Regrouping for it on the right side is Blackenberg with Doc. Avalanche will clear this one ahead. Oilers steal it right back. Cleared in down low then by Kapanen. Battling for it on the right side then with Adam Henrique. Picked back up then by the Avalanche. Akan will clear it out to center. Oilers will regroup with it now in their own end. Here's Murphy. Pass to McDavid. Broken up then by Natchez. Marty Natchez takes it behind the Colorado net and off the boards to center. McKinnon comes in. Drives it over then for Natchez. Natchez on the right circle. Up top then. Here's Taves. Approaching the final minute of play in the first period. McKinnon fires one wide. Taves on the right circle. Up top to McKinnon. Pass in front. Natchez a shot. It's blocked. And the Oilers will try and get it to center. Avs keep it in. Natchez to McKinnon. McKinnon below the line up top to Taves a shot. Save. Rebounds in front. They jab at that puck on Ingram. And it's cleared back down low to the corner. Natchez up top then to Malinsky. Delayed penalty here against the Oilers. McKinnon in front. Landeskog a drive. And that one is denied. And we will get a Colorado power play here with just under 40 seconds to play. Yes, sir, Thomas. They're in, baby. I'm very happy. I am thrilled. We're going to see a Colorado power play coming up here now in just a moment. Less than 40 seconds to go here in this opening period. I didn't see the exact call. Again, things happen too fast, and sometimes I'm not able to pick it up clearly. But it's going to be Adam Henrique for holding on Marty Natchez. Some good chances there for the Avalanche in that latter sequence. But we are going to see a Colorado power play in these last 40 seconds. If they do not score, it will carry over into period number 2 when we get there. So fired up. Yeah, I'm so excited. I think, again, like everybody was saying, oh, they want Ovi in the playoffs. And yeah, I do. I wouldn't mind seeing Ovechkin face off against Crosby one more time, but Battle of PA is awesome, and I'm happy to see my Flyers are finally back in the Stanley Cup playoffs after what felt like so many years of not being in it. I'm thrilled, and I'm hoping that moving down forward in the future, this is the start of the future getting brighter. Yeah, the Hurricanes have owned us the last couple of years. It's been actually a little bit hilarious. All right, Colorado power play coming up here in this first period. It was off of a holding call on Adam Henrique, and he doesn't have a stick, so what are you supposed to do on that play? Let Natchez handle the puck? It's the right call to make for sure, and I definitely don't really put that on the Avalanche that much. Face-off here in the Edmonton zone. Shot on there is denied. Natchez holds it on the right side as the Avalanche set up. Natchez down low to McKinnon, jabbing at that puck. And that one is denied there by Ingram. Nelson on the right side, battling forward as the clock ticks down. McKinnon below the line then for Natchez. Natchez on the right side up top then to McKinnon. 15 seconds to go. McKinnon brings it in. Shot on there is blocked. Nurse tries to clear it to center. And the Oilers will come on a 2-1 the other way. 5 seconds to go. Into the zone. Nurse fires it. Denied by Wedgwood as the buzzer hits 0. And what an ending to that opening period as the Avalanche will take a minute 20 of power play time to the locker room. And we are scoreless through 20 minutes of play here. That was a fast period. Very quick moving, not a lot of whistles. Again, when these two teams are playing, that's kind of the norm. And we are scoreless through 20 minutes of play. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for period number 2 momentarily. This is the countdown till period number 2. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe down below if you're new. We are 3 subscribers away from 5,600. So I would love to hit that before the start of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And a pretty fun first period at that, but we are scoreless through 20 minutes of play. Not much to report on here from this one tonight. Obviously, the news of the hour, the Philadelphia Flyers have clinched a playoff spot. They are the most recent team to clinch a spot, and they are the final team in the Eastern Conference to make the playoffs. And that shapes up an Eastern Conference playoffs featuring these 8 teams. And honestly, if you told me that half of these teams would be in the playoffs this year, I would have laughed in your face. The Buffalo Sabres, I did not think Buffalo was getting in this year. I still thought they were a couple of years away, much less winning the division. If they win tomorrow, if they win tonight, I think, or whatever, like, they're up there. They're battling in the Atlantic Division race. They're beating the Blackhawks as of right now in period number 2. So, again, like, the fact that they're there is insane. The Tampa Bay Lightning, that's expected. Montreal, some people had them out of the playoffs. I think I did, actually. Not a good take looking back at it now, but Montreal's back in the playoffs again. The Hurricanes, that's expected. The Pittsburgh Penguins, 16 overtime losses. Wow, that is something. The Philadelphia Flyers as well, 12 overtime losses. I didn't think any of those teams would be in the playoffs, much less playing in the first round. It is a real shocker. I don't think anybody thought that, to be honest with you. I don't think you guys could sit in this comment section and tell me honestly that you thought the Flyers and the Penguins would face off in the first round of this year's playoffs. I certainly did not believe that at all. And then the Boston Bruins, they bounce back. I don't think I had them in the playoffs. That's a big surprise there. And then the Ottawa Senators, I did have them in the playoffs, but it's a shocker that they're here. It's a real shocker that the Senators got in after the really bad struggles at the middle of the season. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. It's a crazy playoffs we have set up here for this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Good game so far. Yeah, good shots from both teams. Yeah, I'm very pleasantly surprised. I am shocked, honestly. Yeah, I mean, like, again, the biggest shocker has to be the Sabres. I don't think anybody thought the Sabres would get in there. But for the Western Conference, again, as I said, like, there's still some question of who's going to make it in the Western Conference. Is it going to be the Los Angeles Kings? Is it going to be the Nashville Predators? Will it be the San Jose Sharks, who are somehow still alive? Or will it be the Winnipeg Jets, who are also somehow still alive? It's a damn mystery. It is a damn mystery. But all of that could end tonight. I will say that. All of that could be over tonight. The Kings could clinch, the Ducks could clinch, and that could pretty much shape up the 16 teams that'll be in the playoffs. Let me take a look at the scenarios here real quick. I don't know exactly all of them off the top of my head, so let me take a look at them here really quick. All right. So if the LA Kings win tonight versus Seattle in any fashion and the Predators lose in regulation against the Sharks, the Kings will be in. And I believe the Ducks will be in as well, if that does happen. The Kings are currently up 2-0 against the Kraken. And currently the Predators are losing 2-0 to the Sharks. So it looks like, as of right now, at the time of recording of this stream, it looks like the Sharks the Kings are heading towards a playoff spot tonight. So we could have those 16 teams completely finalized by the end of the night. So it's not like down to the last day of the year. It could be. Obviously, again, these games aren't over. But it does seem like we're coming to a conclusion here of the LA Kings are going to make it back to the playoffs. Which means if the Oilers do end up winning the Pacific, they would play the Kings. Kraken gone down the tubes. Yeah, they've really struggled. They really have played horrible since the Olympic break. I mean, I expected them to be bad, but man, they really just plummeted and fell from grace dramatically. And I think it's just poor management. Like, they believe that they're something they're not. And I think that really affected them, especially with the moves they made in the offseason and such.
My son's a huge fan of McDavid and Draisaitl, and of course Bedard playing on the opposing team, and they thought what a perfect opportunity to bring them and see all.
Who do the Avs play? In my opinion, it's probably going to be Los Angeles. The way it's shaping up right now, the Avalanche or the Kings will probably be in that second wild card spot. They'll probably take on the Avalanche. Now, who do I want to play? I probably want to play the Kings, to be honest. They have handled the Kings pretty handily in the regular season. I think that has been very apparent. But to be honest with you, I do look at the Kings. I think that they would be manhandled by the Avalanche. But you never know. Maybe there's an upset there in play. You never know. Yeah, Avs are the top seed, so it'll be who's in that second wild card spot who they'll play. It's possible that they do end up playing Anaheim if things go a certain way, but I think Anaheim has to lose out and the Kings have to win out, which is unlikely, but Anaheim has struggled recently. Crazy that the Ducks have the same amount of points as the Oilers, but they're not clinched yet. Ducks will have a chance, yeah. Colorado Tampa Bay prediction finals is very live. That is still true to right now. That can still happen indeed. That'd be a fun first round matchup, honestly, between those two teams. Yeah, Ducks have really kind of fallen off the deep end. It's sad to see, but hopefully they'll be able to bounce. Hopefully they'll be able to bounce back. Heading into the playoffs. But they're a young team, and they're missing a couple of their guys, so I don't put it on them that much, to be completely blunt with you. Yup, Flyers clinched today. Very happy about that. I am thrilled about that, actually. So again, second period coming up here in about 10 minutes or so. Stick around, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Watch with Nordic commentary. It is greatly appreciated. Definitely been a couple of slower commentaries these last couple of days, and that's okay. Again, obviously, we're heading towards the Stanley Cup playoffs. Some of these commentaries we're doing don't really mean that much, in all honesty. So again, we're kind of just, filling up some streams here as we head towards the Stanley Cup playoffs. They can rest Vladar versus Montreal? Yes, they definitely will. It'll be Urson and net tomorrow for sure. 100% it'll be Urson tomorrow. All right. So again, later on this week, we'll have two more commentaries. Later in the week, it's going to be Stars and Sabres facing off against the Golden Knights and the Kraken. That will be our later commentary as well on the schedule, so stay tuned for that. Who did Colorado play with in the playoffs? The playoffs haven't started yet. Yeah, he got hit by a puck. Sucks to see. Hopefully he's okay. You never want to see your coach, much less get hurt. Who's the East Cup favorite and West Cup favorite? I mean, you always got to go with the number one team. The Avalanche will be the favorite in the Western Conference. No matter where you want to argue it, they'll be the favorite. For the Eastern Conference, I lean Carolina in a way, but we always say the Canes. The question is with Carolina is, can they finally get over that hump? That's the question we're asking ourselves. And I don't know. I don't know if that happens. Colorado, Dallas. Yeah, those are the favorites for sure. The fourth favorites, I would argue. President's Trophy team struggle. Yep, they do. That doesn't help Colorado. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, President's Trophy curse definitely does not help Colorado. So they'll be dealing with that these playoffs for sure. Last team to win the Cup was President's Trophy in the same year was 2013 Blackhawks. Yeah, so it's been a long time. For sure, it's been a very long time. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know. Excited to see what the Stanley Cup playoff schedule is going to look like. Again, as I said it a couple times today. Looks like there's going to be 3 games on Saturday, 4 games on Sunday. So there will be plenty of matchups there to cover. We'll be live for basically all of them, to be honest. And then kind of exchanging series as we move along, of course. Avs can break the curse. We'll see if they can, though. It's a hard curse to beat, for sure. It's a big mountain to climb. We're asking the question, can they? Yeah, Saturday start. I can't wait. Me neither. I'm very excited. I'm pumped. I'm ready to get it going. Thank you for posting live. I am blocked out in Albuquerque. Nice. Breaking Bad. One of my favorite shows. I know you probably get that all the time living there, but welcome to the stream, man. Good to see you here.
he's going to push through it. I mean, a lot of guys, there are some guys that wouldn't, but he's going to push through it, and that would make me a little nervous giving him the green light.
If they aren't in the conference finals, Colorado will be a disappointment. Yeah, for sure. So are you an Avalanche fan, Junior? I assume so. I always wonder, like, who do you root for when you're in a state like that with no teams? Is it just the closest team, or do you just pick a team and stick with them? I mean, the closest team to you is probably Vegas, or is it the Avalanche? It once was the Coyotes, but not anymore. Or is it Utah? Utah's there too, in that region. McDavid should come to Philly to lead these young boys to the future. I saw people saying that. I don't know. Like, if McDavid doesn't win a cup in Edmonton, then maybe. But Philadelphia has to prove themselves as a top team to draw in McDavid. Used to live in Colorado. Easy for you to connect with the Avs. That makes sense. Avs need to win, especially we have Kadri back. Yeah, definitely. You guys have the roster to get it done. The question is, will you? Sometimes the best rosters on paper don't necessarily do it. I think the Golden Knights, I think they're going to surprise some people. They'll stay in it and be a hard out, but I'm not very high on them. A lot of people are going to pick them out early in the playoffs. I'm not sure I'll do that, to be honest. Our series previews are going to probably start tomorrow. I've started writing up the notes for a couple of the series. Now that we have a few of them determined, I can start posting the previews. So stay tuned for those coming up in the next couple of days. There are only 2 confirmed first-round matchup series, so I'm going to try and get those 2 out tomorrow. I'm going to try and get them out tomorrow, to be honest with you. So that way they're out, and you guys can take a look at them, even if it's a few days before the playoffs even start. So we got about a little less than 3 minutes to go here till the start of period number 3. Stick around, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. Helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. We will not be live tomorrow, but we will be live on Wednesday. Stars and Sabres, Golden Knights, and Kraken will wrap up our regular season commentaries. Yes, it's Avalanche versus the second wild card. So it could be the Kings, it could be the Ducks, it could be the Preds. We really don't know as of right now. It'll be one of those few teams. Yeah, it's Avalanche versus wild card 2. And then whoever wins the Pacific will take on the Utah Mammoth, most likely. There could be confirmed matches by the end of tonight, though. So that's my job to work on tonight. Get the series previews ready to start uploading tomorrow, and that should be fun. Expansion teams making the playoffs all the time. Yep. Happy to see Utah in, though, as well. Happy to see new teams make the playoffs instead of the same teams every single year. Alrighty, everybody, let's get ready for the start of period number 2 between the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche here tonight. First period recap. There were no goals in that middle frame. The Avalanche are going to take 1:20 of power play time here into period number 2. taking a look at your stats through 20, shots are 13-10 in favor of the Avalanche. Face-off percentage was 61% in favor of the Oilers. Hits are 6-2 in favor of Edmonton, and block shots are 8-5 in favor of the Oilers. Period number 2 is underway. I'm a little bit late to getting started here. My clock was off by a couple of seconds. Avalanche will start off by holding this puck here in their own zone, trying to set up on this power play. Now a minute to go on it. Natchez here at center, back over to Gabe Landeskog. Landeskog carries it in, drops it up top, then to Natchez, who moves into the zone. Marty Natchez drops it back then for McKinnon. McKinnon battling for it then with McDavid. McKinnon will throw it up top then to Taze. Taze to McKinnon. Cross-ice pass, shot goes wide. Rebound in front. Jabbing at that puck was Landeskog. Ingram kept it out. Taze up top then to McKinnon. Cross-ice pass, shot by Natchez. Goes into the glove of Connor Ingram, who makes the save. Nice save there by Ingram on Natchez, and that is a guy to watch out for there. He's been a nasty weapon for the Avalanche in his first full season with the team. The Avalanche are definitely missing Nathan McKinnon. And Nathan McKinnon, of course, obviously, or Cale Makar, of course, one of the top guys, or did I say McKinnon? I meant they're missing Cale Makar. Sorry. Still a little bit out of things here. Here's McKinnon up top. Yeah, they definitely miss McKinnon if they didn't have him in the lineup. Below the line, then cross-ice pass. Natchez a shot, and that one goes wide there with Ingram. Makar, the top quarterback on that power play. That's why he is not here tonight, facing an upper body injury he suffered a couple weeks ago against the Calgary Flames. Natchez below the line, cross-ice pass to McKinnon. Shot on goes above Ingram and wide. Now Josh Szymanski will backhand this one to center. Taze off the boards to McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon will carry it down low into the zone. Edmonton gets it back. Here's Darnell Nurse. He'll hold it down low in the Edmonton zone. Yeah, I meant Makar. My bad. Henrique fighting forward here on the right side. Avalanche will clear it back to center. Dumped into the zone then by Colton. Bouchard will get it back then for the Oilers behind the net. Bouchard over then on the right side, battling for with Savoy. Nurse is there as well. Bouchard will play it off the boards then for Darnell Nurse behind the net. Trying to carry that one through center. Henrique ahead to Bouchard. Bouchard to McDavid. Connor McDavid brings it in. Gets it around. Shot on by Podkolzin. Goes wide of Wedgwood. Bouchard up top to Wallman. Wallman dumps it back down low. Podkolzin for Connor McDavid. Up top then. Bouchard to McDavid. Bouchard keeps it in. Shot on denied by Wedgwood. And he covers that one up despite kind of sprawling back. And remains this game scoreless. First shot of the game, first shot of the period there for the Oilers. Good kill by the Oilers as well. The power play has come to a close. Shots are 14-11. Some good opportunities there for both sides so far. The goaltenders have been the best players tonight. They've been the difference makers. Face-off here in the Avalanche zone. Roslovic versus Drury. Face-off won then by the Avalanche. Akan will bank this one off the boards to center. Oilers will dump it back down low into the zone. Edmonton with 98 goals in the second period. That is the most in the NHL. Here's Nugent Hopkins. Back over then to Roslovic. Broken up then. The Oilers will backhand it down low into the corner. Drury for Blackenberg. On the right side then. Avalanche trying to clear that one out of the zone. Bardakov will try and get it ahead to center. He will do so. The Oilers will regroup. Nurse on the right side for Edmonton. Back over to Kapanen. Kapanen off the boards then. Stolen back then by the Avalanche. Drury through center. Drops it back. Shot on there is blocked. Below the line then O'Connor. Fed back up top then to Blackenberg. Shot is wide of Ingram. On the right side here now with it is Akan. Jack Akan battling forward in the corner. Edmonton will attempt to clear. Drury keeps it in. At the point, shot on is blocked. Now below the line, O'Connor. Back over then for Bardakov, who tries to clear it off the boards. Roslovic battling forward on the right side. Malinsky fires it on. That one is denied by Ingram through the traffic in front. Now O'Connor will clear it off the boards, kept in there by the Avalanche. On the right side, Jack Drury will throw it down low then for Kelly. Parker Kelly on the right side here for Colorado. Drew O'Connor battling for it here as well. It's a three-man battle for it in the corner. Darnell Nurse gets it back then for the Oilers. Here comes Edmonton through neutral zone. Roslovic will dump it down low into the Avalanche zone. Behind the net there is Wedgwood. Off the boards to Nick Waugh. Cross-ice pass then through center. Kiviranta's shot goes wide of Connor Ingram there. Here's Waugh into the zone. Regroups around now down low in the corner. Nicholas Waugh battling forward here on the right side. Edmonton will pick it back up. Josh Szymanski now behind the net. In front then, Waugh tried to get a shot on. Pass was blocked. And battling for it now on the right side. Below the line then, Brett Kulak will carry it through center for the Avalanche. Burns will dump it down low. It'll slide in there on Ingram. He'll play that puck up to McDavid. Connor McDavid with speed. Carries it around behind the net. Backhand on. Saved by Wedgwood. McKinnon taken away then. The Avs race it back to the way. Here's McKinnon down the right side. McKinnon circles around. Landeskog up top then. Broken up by the Oilers. Here they come. It's a 2-on-2. Savoy comes in. Gets around the defense. Loops up top. Here's Ekholm coming in. Slap shot goes wide of Wedgwood. Oilers keep it in. McDavid for Bouchard. He'll deke around McKinnon. Bouchard poke checked away there by Landeskog. That would have been a nice play for Bouchard, but good job by Landeskog. McDavid on the right side now. Pass over is broken up. Up top, Bouchard now at the point. Collects that loose puck. Bouchard to McDavid. Up top, Kapanen. Skates it around behind the goal line and the Avalanche net. Trying to get around Natchez. He'll do so successfully. Up top now, Ekholm. Cross-ice pass to Bouchard. Oilers trying to collect the puck properly. Kapanen behind the net. Thrown all the way back to center. Now Bouchard will regroup in the Edmonton zone. Oilers are fast to come back here still. They'll clear it into the Colorado end. And all the way back down low into the Edmonton zone. And a whistle is blown dead at 13:46. Not exactly sure for what. I think we're getting a penalty here against the Oilers yet again. So it looks like the Anaheim Ducks, thank you, Sharky. The Anaheim Ducks have clinched a playoff spot. They are back in the playoffs for the first time in 8 years with the win for the Sharks against the Predators. Now, the final spot in the Pacific Division or in the NHL playoffs this year can be clinched tonight, and the Avalanche may know their first round opponent if the LA Kings can get the win over Seattle. And they're currently up 2-0 on the Kraken as of now. 2 goals from Quinton Byfield. So the odds are certainly in LA's favor. Power play is going to be coming up here now. I believe it's going to be against the Oilers. The Avalanche will get their second power play of the game. Unless I heard incorrectly, maybe there's something else coming here. I'm not exactly sure. NHL.com has not updated their stat sheet here yet. If the LA Kings do lose, I believe that means that Nashville, the Sharks, and the Jets are still alive. So there is a chance that the playoffs and the race in the Western Conference could go beyond tonight. But for that to happen, the Kraken have to win. Doesn't look like the Jets or the Sharks or anybody's out of it yet, even with the Ducks clinching. Shots are 14-12 here in favor of the Avalanche. These two goaltenders in Watch with Nordic commentaries, they played kind of the same amount of games. Again, for those who do not know, if you're new to the channel, we keep track of all the stats. So let's say a goaltender has a good game in a commentary. I keep track of everything. I have a spreadsheet that keeps track of records and streams and goaltender stats and who has the most points in live commentaries, all that good stuff. Wedgwood playing in his 5th commentary tonight, 912 save percentage. Ingram, 832 in 6 previous commentaries before tonight. Avalanche will get a power play here. It's a too many men call on the Oilers. Face-off won by the Avalanche. Here's McKinnon on the right side for Colorado. McKinnon pass in front, and Landeskog was there but couldn't get the puck on. Natchez up top at center. Fires it. It's denied there by Ingram. Behind the net then down low. Murphy gets it back for the Oilers. What a great acquisition he's been. At center then with that puck. Henrique battling for it. Landeskog down low here now in the corner. Bouchard trying to jab at that one as well. Henrique stolen back then by the Oilers and cleared down the other way. Here's Devon Toews now behind the net then for the Avalanche. Shots are now 15-2. Toews drops it back for Natchez. McKinnon off the boards then for Landeskog. Try to bat that one down low there on Ingram. It's denied and cleared back into the Colorado zone. Wedgwood gives it up then for Toews. Toews back for Natchez, who will carry this one through center. Halfway through the power play now. Marty Natchez will drop it back then for McKinnon. McKinnon fires it. It's deflected off of Ekholm and out of play at 12:36. The speed is definitely a definer on this Avalanche power play. There is no doubt about that. They have the speed. They can move the puck with their quick passing moves. So can the Oilers as well, but face-off here in the Edmonton zone. Avalanche's power play has struggled over the course of this year. It hasn't been as good as you may think it would be for a team that is atop the NHL. Oilers will dump it down low into the Avalanche zone. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Toews drops it back for Natchez. Marty Natchez will throw it back then for McKinnon. McKinnon to Nelson. Nelson will drop it up top then for Toews. Devon Toews up top here in the Edmonton zone. Now back for Brock Nelson. Nelson to McKinnon behind the net. McKinnon for Nelson. On the right side, Avalanche regroup with this puck. McKinnon. Pass over is blocked. Kapanen will clear, and that will do it for the power play. Good play by the Oilers, and we stay scoreless here through about 30 minutes of play. Here's Devon Toews. Off the boards then for Nichushkin. Tries to carry that one into the zone. Grabbed back by Colton. Cross-ice pass for Nelson's broken up. Bouchard up top then. Tried to send McDavid on a 1-0 breakaway. Malinsky ahead then. Backhanded down low into the Edmonton zone. It's delayed off sides. So Wallman will take it back then for McDavid. Connor McDavid with speed. Carries it through center. He's poke checked away. Malinsky battling for it on the right side. Avalanche will carry it through center. Kelly to Kiviranta. Kiviranta up top to Malinsky. Deeks around Podkolzin. Kelly a shot. And that one's denied there by Ingram. In the corner, Bouchard stolen back in front. Wah to Malinsky. He scores! Sam Malinsky opens up the scoring, and that was a nice one. And if you blinked, you might have missed it. 1-0 Avalanche at 10:55. And that is a nice play there. Again, it's off of the pressure in front. It was carried behind the net there. I believe a primary assist for Nick Waugh. Just a nice pass to Malinsky. He fires it up top. And the Avalanche have taken the 1-0 lead here in this opening period. So Sam Malinsky there will get the goal, his 8th goal of the season at 9:05. The only assist goes to Nicholas Waugh. Up top here, Avalanche have it. They'll fire it on Ingram. He'll make the save. Nugent Hopkins here on the right side. Back over to Ekholm. Back over to Howard, who tried to clear it out of the zone. Edmonton forced to keep this one back in. Here's Drury. Down low behind the net. Up top then for Blackenberg. Shot on, denied there by Ingram. Drury will throw this one up top. Kulak a shot. That one is denied there by Ingram. On the right side, Roslovic battling for that puck. Here's Nugent Hopkins. Back over for Blackenberg. Right side, Drury fires it. And that one is denied there by Ingram quickly. Halfway through this game and the second period. Yeah, I just don't have the technology for that. or time, to be honest. But I'll eventually put one in. Here's Roslovic battling for it on the right side then. Shot on, saved by Wedgwood. Avalanche with 5 shots in their last 5 minutes. They're up to 20 on the game. Natchez will throw it around then behind the net. McKinnon will clear this one back to center. Regrouping now in his own zone is Kulak. Thrown back to center. Dump back down low then into the Edmonton zone. Darnell Nurse. Shots are 7-3 in favor of the Avalanche here in this second period. Malinsky off the boards to center. Again, kind of common like the previous period. Not a lot of whistles. Seems like that's been the narrative. Murphy dumps it down low into the Avalanche zone. Szymanski battling for it on the right side. Now there as well up top to Wallman. Wallman on the right side battling for it then with Frederick. Here's Doc fighting for it here in the corner. Nathan McKinnon is there as well as Edmonton will win that draw up to center. Wallman to Henrique. Shot on there is denied. Trent Frederick gets it down low in the corner. Behind the net then up top for Bouchard. Bouchard down low for Frederick. Poke checked away there by Taze. On the right side getting it back is Colton. Battling for it on the right side. Doc back over to Wallman. A shot denied by Wedgwood. And he gets the cover. And Doc getting into it with Malinsky. And everybody gets into it now. Battling for it here in the corner. And definitely, this is a heated rivalry. People forget just 4 years ago, these two teams played in the Stanley Cup in the Western Conference Finals. In 2022, it was a sweep for the Avalanche. And I think there may be some penalties here that come out of this sequence, but we'll step aside here for a moment. The Avalanche have struck first. It's Sam Malinsky at 8:21, and they lead 1-0. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the commentary. We are now 1 subscriber away from 5,600. So again, thank you all so much for your support. We are almost at that milestone. We will hit that milestone before the beginning of the Stanley Cup playoffs. I greatly appreciate it. Pretty good game here so far. Malinsky, for those who follow the Watch with Nordic live commentary stats, Sam Malinsky, currently that is his, I look for his stats here, currently his 3rd goal in a commentary, his 9th point. And Nicholas Waugh also getting on the score sheet there as well with the primary assist, the only assist on that goal also. All right. So Avalanche take the early 1-0 lead. It's Sam Malinsky, his 8th goal of the year. Primary assist goes to Nicholas Waugh, his 17th assist of the season. Face-off here in the Avalanche zone, won by the Oilers. McDavid fires it on, saved by Wedgwood, rebounds in front, and denied. We are going to get a power play for the Oilers as the referee raised his hand. I think McDavid himself drew that penalty, and we will now see the Oilers head to the power play. And that Edmonton power play, you don't want to give them opportunities, and that's just what the Avalanche have done here, and they will get an opportunity. It's Brock Nelson for hooking on this call. Edmonton will get a chance to tie the game. So again, as I said this earlier in the game, I understand that there's some people who are in this commentary and they're like, this game doesn't really matter. That may be true for the Avalanche. It may not really matter for them. But for the Oilers, if they win the division, they take on the Utah Mammoth. Otherwise, they'll face off against either the Vegas Golden Knights or the Anaheim Ducks. And obviously, you want to face off against, a team that is ranked lower than another. So the Oilers are trying to get those 2 points to get that first place spot. Bouchard on the right side then for McDavid. McDavid moves to center. Shot on there is denied. Rebound is cleared away then by the Avalanche. And correct me if I'm wrong, has McDavid ever won a division title? I feel like they've always been second or third in their division. Correct me if I'm wrong. Here's Connor McDavid. Carrying it now through center. He'll get around Burns. Fires it on. It's blocked there by Taves. Nice defensive play by Devon Taves. Up top, Bouchard. On the right side then, below the line to McDavid. Connor McDavid. Up top to Bouchard. Bouchard to McDavid. Pass back over then for Bouchard. Bouchard over then for Roslovic. Up top, McDavid. Back over then for Podkolzin. To McDavid up top. The Oilers are circling this puck around. Bouchard tried to throw it down low. It's cleared back to center. Now at 50 seconds to go on the power play. Bouchard to McDavid. McDavid down low. Shot on by Roslovic. Denied there by Wedgwood. McDavid now on the right side. Pass over is broken up. Up top then Bouchard to McDavid. McDavid down low to Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins on the right side. Fires it on. That one is blocked. Podkolzin gets it back then for the Oilers. Up top to Bouchard. Evan Bouchard to Podkolzin. Down low, McDavid comes in. Fires it. It's blocked in the air as it goes back to the right side. Here's Nugent-Hopkins. Back over to McDavid. McDavid comes in. He'll deke around Taves. Poke checked away. Bouchard to McDavid. Up top to Bouchard. Time will wind down on the power play. Bouchard, a shot saved by Wedgwood at 6:20. 5 seconds to go exactly on the power play. And there's some good opportunities there for the Oilers, but they are unable to beat Scott Wedgwood. Very good game here by the goaltenders so far, and Wedgwood has been the better of the two. He's made the saves he's had to here on this power play. Face-off coming up again now in the Avalanche zone. Drury will take the draw against Frederick. Face-off is a tie-up coming in. Then alone is Henrique. A shot on, save, rebounds in front. They jab at that puck. Wedgwood was down and cleared back up top. Wallman on the right side then for Podkolzin. Podkolzin up top. Carries it around behind the net. Then in front for Henrique, who is tied up there by Kulak. Power play will come to a close. Battling for on the right side. Then Kelly will backhand it to center, or at least he'll try to. Finally, he does get it there. Here's Ekholm. He'll dump it down low. It'll go around behind the Colorado net. Now Curtis Lazar will get it here below the line. First I've had to say his name tonight. Lazar back down low. On the right side, Kelly picks it back up then for the Avalanche and clears it to center. Now Darnell Nurse. Olta here in his own zone. Nurse. Cross ice pass then to Murphy. Murphy will carry it down low. He'll dump it into the Avalanche end. Now Natchez will get it back to center. Frederick off the boards to Doc. Poke checked away there by Natchez. Avalanche get it back. Here's McKinnon with speed. Back over then to Landeskog. It's cleared back to center then. Landeskog back over to Blackenberg. Nick Blackenberg ahead then for Marty Natchez, who battles for it on the right side with Adam Henrique. Dumped into the zone then by Jacka Khan. Edmonton will regroup here in their own end. Here come the Oilers the other way. Szymanski into the zone, looks for options, fires it, saved there by Wedgwood, and he will cover up at 4:44. Pretty well played hockey game here so far by both sides, whether or not you want to call it that way. Shots are 20-19. It is 1-0 Avalanche. A close, low-scoring game. Thought we would get a shootout. Huh. Maybe. Still possible. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. Helps out with the engagement. We are 1 subscriber away from 5,600. So thank you all so much for your continued support here on the commentary streams this season. It's been incredible what we have been able to do here in these last couple of months. Oh my goodness. Do these teams have good enough goaltending? They're both playing well right now. If we're being honest, they're both playing really well right now. Here's the thing, though. Like, I don't know. They're both playing really well right now, though. That's the narrative that you want to put across. Obviously, Wedgwood been the better goaltender. In terms of playoffs, if that's what you're asking me, will it be good enough for the Stanley Cup playoffs? That's a good question. Because the Avalanche, I think they will be. The Oilers is the one that you asked the most out of those two for who has the most trustworthy goalie. Hey, what's going on, Hawks? How we doing? Welcome to the stream. Oilers' defense and goaltending is what costed them against Florida. Yeah, I agree. Face-off coming up here now in the Colorado zone. It's been a lot of Oilers here these last couple of minutes. They're trying to tie up this hockey game. Face-off is won back then by the Avalanche. It's chipped off the boards to center. 2-on-1 the other way for the Avs. Nichushkin with Colton comes in. Colton fanned on the puck. Couldn't get a clear shot there on Ingram. And the Oilers will move it now through center. Podkolzin to McDavid, broken up by Blackenberg. 3-on-2 now for the Avalanche. Colton, cross-ice pass. Nelson down low is blocked. And the Oilers will get it back to center. Here they come the other way. 3-on-2 now for the Oilers. McDavid drops it back up top. Bouchard waits. McDavid down low, pass over. Savoya's blocked. McDavid, another chance. He scores! Connor McDavid from an impossible angle. And the Oilers tie up the game. Maybe not an impossible angle, but that's a pretty nice shot there from that angle. There's only a handful of players who can do that. And Connor McDavid, left all alone, just basically at the goal line, fires it at that top corner. And we are tied at 1. Welcome to the channel, Hawks. I appreciate you being here. Connor McDavid has tied the game for the Oilers with about 4 minutes to go here in period number 2. Here come the Oilers again the other way. Szymanski went to Frederick, a shot denied there by Wedgwood at 4:01. And now we get some more pushing and shoving. Whew! Thank you all for tuning in. That was a pretty entertaining sequence of hockey there. We have reached 5,600 subscribers. Thank you all so much for that and your continued support here tonight. It is greatly appreciated. Another milestone hit before the Stanley Cup playoffs. And Connor McDavid picks up his 48th goal of the season, assisted by Savoy and Bouchard, making it a 1-1 hockey game here late in this second period. Dumped down low into the Edmonton zone. Bouchard back over to Nugent-Hopkins on the right side. Avalanche will fire it down low now. Landeskog battling forward here on the right side. Here's Darnell Nurse carrying it through center. Nurse will clear it back into the Colorado zone. Roslovic will throw it down low behind the net. Natchez on the right side then for Tays. Landeskog carries it through center. As a Phillies fan, thank you, Seth. How can you be an Eagles and a Dodgers fan? Do I read that right? Here's Darnell Nurse. Behind the net here for the Oilers. 3 minutes to go in this second period. Kiviranta tried to backhand that one to center. Kelly battling for it on the right side. Now Frederick brings it into the zone. Trent Frederick behind the net then, broken up by the Avalanche. Kulak to Frederick on the right side. Trent Frederick battling for it then. Grabbed back by the Avalanche, who will carry it through center. 2-on-1 developing here as Kelly throws a pass and turns over the puck. That was not a great play to make necessarily. Puck will slide back to center. Here's Brent Burns. He'll hold it down low here in the Colorado zone. Burns across ice pass, then up top to O'Connor. O'Connor over then for Drury, who's broken up. Henrique will backhand this puck back into the Colorado zone. Here's a Con who will clear it off the boards to center. Now Jake Wallman will dump it down low then into the Avalanche zone. Blackenberg tied up down low in the corner. 2 minutes to go in the second period. Oilers will keep this one down low. Getting it back then is Blackenberg. Blackenberg here on the right side for the Avalanche. He'll carry it through center. Back over then off the boards of Con. Through center, Drury. Up top, O'Connor. Deeks around Ekholm. Picked back up then by McDavid. McDavid will loop around with that puck. Now Bouchard carries it through center. 3-on-2. Bouchard fires it wide of Wedgwood. And grabbed back then by the Avalanche. Here's Colton. 1-on-1. Cross-ice pass is blocked by Ekholm, who will pick it up and try and clear. Kept in by the Avalanche. Oilers get it right back. Here's Podkolzin coming into the zone. Pass over to McDavid. Deflected in the air. McDavid will get it back down low. And battling for it as the official was in the way. Now the Avalanche trying to get this one back to center. Nelson battling for it down low in the corner. Last minute of play in the second period. Frederick on the right side for the Oilers. Coming into the zone. Pass over to Murphy is not completed. Frederick at the point fires it on wide of Wedgwood. Oilers have been pressuring here these last few minutes. Roslovic up top. Loops around. Drops it back to the point then for Murphy. Connor Murphy will loop it at the point. Fires it on. That one is blocked. Now Taze backhands it off the boards to center. Darnell Nurse will bring it back into the Edmonton zone. 30 seconds to go. Frederick clears it into the Avalanche end. Malinsky on the right side battling for Nugent Hopkins. Landeskog for McKinnon. McKinnon cross-ice pass then for Malinsky. Malinsky will get it to center. 10 seconds to go here in the second period. Wallman to Bouchard. Wallman will come back and regroup in his own end. That will do it for period number 2. End of 40 here in Edmonton. 2 goals. Sam Malinsky and Connor McDavid are the 2 deciders, and we will head to the third period tied up at 1 apiece. This should be a great finish. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for period number 3 momentarily. This is the countdown till period number 3. So stay tuned for that here in just a moment. But a fun second period there. You need to, Seth, I need to ask you something. Seth, how come you're an Eagles fan, you're a Flyers fan, but you're not a Phillies fan? Why are you a Dodgers fan? Please tell me. Because I'm fine with you being the fans of the other teams, but Dodgers? Out of you're a fan of 2 Philly teams, and then you're a fan of the Dodgers. Why is that? I'm curious. I'm not judging you, but I'm curious. Maybe I am judging you a little bit. All right, I need to find these clips. I'm going to pull up the stream on my computer real quick. So the Buffalo Sabres have clinched the Atlantic Division, which sets up a first-round matchup. You like LA? Okay. So a first-round matchup after the Buffalo Sabres have clinched the Atlantic Division title. A first-round matchup between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Montreal Canadiens. That sounds electric. That sounds awesome. I am hype now. I mean, any of those Atlantic Division, like, that seems like a phenomenal series, honestly. 3-time Super Bowl champs, Broncos. When's the last time they won one, though? I'm not talking drafts. When's the last time? It's been a while, right? I'm not a big football guy, so I don't really remember the last year. All right, going to make 2 goal commentary clips here to upload. The McDavid goal and the Malinsky goal are going to be the 2 that I make. Just getting the clips. That's number 48 for Connor McDavid on the year. What a phenomenal year Connor McDavid has had. I mean, that's expected at this point for him to have a game like this. McDavid from Savoy and Bouchard. For those who are wondering, that is Connor McDavid's 15th goal in the commentary, his 49th point. He is 10 ahead of the next leading point scorer in Watch with Nordic streams. Bouchard as well is now at 32 points. He is 4th all-time amongst all Watch with Nordic players, so there you go.
Update through 2 in Edmonton. Of course, we'll get you back to the 3rd shortly, but a busy night with, of course, playoff implications because this is a night when a few teams can clinch.
Kind of a big deal. Let's start with the Philadelphia Flyers against Carolina. It's this simple. If Philadelphia wins, they will get the final playoff spot in the East. First period, top start for Philly. That's Nikolai Ehlers.
All right. So anything you guys want to talk about or anything like that, comment it in the comment section down below. I will be making some commentary clips. But if you guys have anything you guys want to talk about, comment them down below.
It's 2-2. The Philly crowd, big time into it. No goals in the 3rd. No goals in overtime. This one goes to a shootout. Nobody scores in the first 3 rounds. 4th Philly shooter, Tyson Forrester. That's a great wrist shot. So it's this.
Kings up 3-0. Yeah, it seems like the playoffs are going to be locked up tonight.
The Philadelphia Flyers are going to a playoff.
Seems like that's what's going to happen.
Carolina, they're off to the postseason for the first time since the spring of 2020. It's Philly and Pittsburgh.
Trade him to the Flyers. We need some veterans. Huh. Yep. That is true.
Point of the season with that assist for Kucherov. It's 3-1 Tampa Bay. Detroit, though, yes, they've been eliminated from playoff contention, but trying to play that spoiler role of fighting to the end. Patrick Kane on the 2-0 sets of Alex DeBrincat, 24th player in NHL history to record 1,400 career points, saving that one. We need overtime in this one, and
Do I have a Penguins jersey? I do. I need to start putting the jerseys up for the teams that I stream in the background. That's what has me so excited about the Flyers. They're a young team. This is hopefully the start to hopefully a long run. Let's hope so.
Okay, back to Edmonton after the break, and we'll see you after the game for a full edition of Sportsnet Central.
All right. Which Penguin? I think it's actually Crosby, ironically. What's up, Louie? Welcome back, Louie. Good to see you in another stream, man. Welcome. How you doing? Always good to see you guys returning for more streams. That makes me happy to see. Hope you're doing well, Louie. Why did this one get cut off? Who's an Oilers fan? Good evening, Charlicia. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. I'm doing well. How are you? $10 till period number 3, folks. Uploading the clips. It's good to hear, Charlicia. Dreaming of Stanley Cups. Huh. All right, uploading the first clip. Again, as Thomas said, Kings are up 3-0 on the Kraken. There's still another period to go, so obviously it can change. The Kraken could come back from down 3-0. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Not impossible, but not likely. We'll see. All right, perfect. There's the first clip. Kings might play the Oilers, depending on how the what was I gonna say? Depending on how the season finishes out. Wish you don't play down to your opponents every game. To be fair, Mile High, you are at the end of the year. Not to say you're not playing for something, but again, like you're in a spot where the games don't really matter that much. You're already in a playoff spot. You're already locked up the first place seed in the Western Conference. What more is there to do? So that's kind of the sentiment that I was trying to get across.
No reason to dock his pay the way he's played in this game tonight. Save on Foods awards a prize for every Oilers goal, but they aren't done there. Awarding groceries for a year every time an Oilers scores a hat trick. 4 goals by a single player wins that lucky customer groceries for life. 5 goals, it's $1 million winner. You are entered into the contest each time you use your More Rewards card at checkout. Get in the game, shop, save on Foods today. All right, here we are at the panel. There's Bob Stoffer, there's Craig McTavish, and over there was Connor McDavid scoring another goal, closing in on 50 goals. What do you want to say about the Oilers, Scott?
Here they come the other way. All right. McDavid drops it back up top. Bouchard waits. McDavid down low pass over. Savoy is blocked. McDavid another chance. He scores. Connor McDavid from an impossible angle, and the Oilers tie up the game. Seven teams over 100 points this year, yep. I think it's probably because the Pacific has been so dog. It's been so bad in the Pacific. It's part of why.
seen. We've never seen somebody this fast, this skilled, relentless drive, and at a time in which you notice that absent, especially Leon Draisaitl. This is the 13th game Leon's missed here. Now the stretch Connor has dragged and willed the team into a playoff spot, and now we're with Shootout City. Oh yeah, and he's going for 52. Yeah, and it looks like
All right. There's Draisaitl with Hyman and Matthias Janmark out there in the crowd watching the game. Well, in their own suite, watching the game.
So you sat in that exact spot a few games ago talking about Evan Bouchard and the Norris Trophy. So here we are, closing in another season of no playoffs in Detroit. Something has to give here with Stevie Y's job. What about the conversation because again, the Red Wings, the Olympic break, they were in a playoff spot pretty firmly.
Yeah. I don't want to come across as being a complete homer, but I think I'm pretty objective when I can say that this guy is by far the best player in this league.
All right.
Every time that he comes up against somebody else that's in the conversation for the Hart,
Kings are on the road, but it's Vancouver and Calgary, so they will be the favorites. Are Sissy, Palat, and Barzal on the ice? Barzal, yes. The other two, I'm not sure about. Isn't Palat contracted for another season? I forget what Sissy's contract is, but yeah. Oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. All right. There's the last commentary clip uploaded.
I wonder whether or not there's some McDavid fatigue out there right now, right? Like it's in the sense that he's elevated.
All right. That being said, folks, I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick and go get some water. I will be right back in just a moment, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Third period coming up in 4 minutes.
Managed the puck. There were a couple times in that second period where they had chances to get it out. They didn't. They're getting a great start from Ingram, and the other guy's fantastic. Terrific goalie battle. Cannot hand 3 goals away.
well, the game broke out, and to Louis' point, I think the power play energized Edmonton. The ice was tilted. Colorado was all over us. We got the power play. We didn't score, but we had a lot of chances. From that point forward, we outplayed them. Colton Dock, who you interviewed, was bringing Trent Frederick into the fight. Those guys look like they're on top of their game. We're in for a great third period here.
Okay, well said to both of you, Bob. We'll see you on Thursday. Great. I think that's all. Thanks for another great season. Always appreciate your insight and analysis. And I'm not full of what you said. I mean that. Neither of these guys,
Alrighty, I have returned. Sorry about that, guys. Third period coming up in just a moment. Barzal has 52 assists. Shen, the former Flyer, you want to keep him around. I don't know if he's been that good, though, for the Islanders, to be honest. All right. Habs versus Lightning. First round. That should be fun. What's up, Chris? Listen to the Maple Leafs game. It was Bowen's last home game call. Yeah, I know. Feel bad for Bowen that he's going out like this, but what a legend. All right, let me update the all-time score sheet real quick before we get started here with the third. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Stick around here. We got the third period coming up in a few moments. One, 1-2. 7. Connor McDavid, goal number 48 on the year. He's been on an absolutely insane run. $49 points in live commentaries. That's nuts. Savoy and Bouchard get the assists. All right, perfect. There we go. Player to watch tonight. I did have Connor McDavid as my player to watch. 134 points on the season now. Kucherov putting up some numbers there too. Alrighty, everybody, let's get ready for the start of period number 3 between the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche tonight. Second period recap. Goals were scored by Sam Malinsky and Connor McDavid, making it a 1-1 hockey game through 40 minutes of play. You take a look here at your stats through 40. Shots are 23-20 in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. Faceoffs 53% in favor of Edmonton as well. Power plays, Colorado is 0 for 2. The Oilers are 0 for 1. Block shots are 16-12 in favor of the Oilers, and hits are 16-5 in favor of the Oilers as well. Period number 3 is underway. Face-off is a tie-up here at center. Szymanski battling for it then with Nichushkin. Avalanche will dump it down low then into the Edmonton zone. Here's Frederick on the right side and cleared back to center. Nurse will dump it down low into the Avalanche zone. Burns will regroup. Brent Burns here behind the net. Cleared back to center. Brett Kulak on the right side. Cross-ice pass then to Nichushkin. Down low, up top then Savoy. Back over to McDavid. McDavid to Podkolzin. 2-on-2. McDavid gets around the D and was tied up there, and Wedgwood makes the save as that puck just trickles in on him. What I've learned is that people who talk trash in the chat, their team usually loses. So I'd be careful, Mile High. Back-to-back finals could be 3 years in a row. You never doubt the Oilers. That's for sure. Face-off here in the Avalanche zone is won by Edmonton. Bouchard back down low then to McKinnon. On the right side, McDavid battling for that puck. Bouchard, a shot denied there by Wedgwood. And he makes yet again another save. Feels like it's been seemingly all Oilers here since the Avalanche scored the opening goal. Or at least that's what I'm sensing here in this one tonight. Stars are better. We'll see if they are. Playoffs will tell us everything. Face-off here in the Colorado zone. One back by the Oilers. Bouchard will dump it around behind the net. Podkolzin back over then to center. Here's McKinnon trying to carry it the other way. Up top then for Nelson. Comes into the zone. Pass in front. Nature's a shot denied there by Ingram. On the right side. Oilers trying to get that one back. Nurse trying to get it to center. McDavid battling for it there as well. Natchez will get it back here in the Avalanche zone. Natchez will drop it back then for Malinsky. Coming through the zone then is a Kahn. Over then to McKinnon. Dump down low Natchez in front of Kahn. A shot denied there by Ingram. Nice save by Connor Ingram. He hasn't faced a ton of shots here these last few minutes. There's a nice save. Slap shot there on Wedgwood. And there he makes a stop. Can I do the Rangers last game? Sadly, I cannot. It's tomorrow, right? I'm not streaming tomorrow, sadly. Draisaitl is practicing. Could be back for round 1. They need him. Yeah. There's no timeline for his return. At least he's skating. I mean, if there's a positive you want to take away from that, at least he's skating. Face off here in the Colorado zone. Shots are 23-21. I don't think that's accurate. Sportsnet, I don't think that's accurate. Puck is cleared all the way back to center. Battling for it here now on the right side, trying to get that one back. Here's Kelly. Down low in the Edmonton zone. Up top, then Akan. Jack Akan across his pass to Blackenberg. A shot denied there by Ingram. Here's Wah. Down low in the corner. Battling for on the right side, then Kiviranta. Over then for Wah. Up top, then to Blackenberg. Cross ice pass. Akan will dump it down low behind the net then for Wah. Wah in the corner, battling forward alongside Henrique. Here's Wah. Trying to deke this one into the zone. Emberson to Kiviranta. Nugent Hopkins battling for on the right side. I'll tell you what. I'll think about it, okay? I already have streams prepared, but maybe I will stream that one. I'll see. Here's Nugent Hopkins trying to dump this one down low. Howard battling for it on the right side. Here's Murphy dumping it into the Avalanche zone. Burns below the line, battling for it with Henrique. Shot on there is blocked. Bardakov will backhand it to center. How do I decide which what do you mean, like which broadcast? Typically I just use the home team. Right now I'm using Sportsnet because the Oilers, they're in Edmonton. So I typically just use the home team's broadcast. Or if there's a national team broadcast, I'll use that too. It varies. Face off in the Colorado zone. It's going to be Wah taking the draw against McDavid. Face off one of those. Bouchard a shot blocked in front. McDavid tried to poke check this away. Savoy cleared back up top. Avalanche will move it through center. Kulak battling for on the right side. Edmonton will get it back. Ekholm off the boards to McDavid. McDavid cross ice pass. Broken up then by the Avalanche. McKinnon blocked there by Ekholm. And a whistle blown dead here for an offsides against the Avs at 16-19. Shots are 2-0 in favor of the Avalanche so far through this third period. I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure the Oilers have had a shot here. Face off here outside of the Edmonton zone is one back into the Avalanche zone. I don't really know what you're saying, Mile High, because my state does have a team. I don't really know what you're trying to say. Who are you saying that to? You're just talking to a wall right now. In the Edmonton zone, Darnell Nurse off the boards, then Frederick battling forward with McKinnon. Murphy down low for Nurse. Szymanski battling for it down low. Josh Szymanski backhanded off the boards then for Murphy. Try to clear it back to center. Avalanche battling for it there at the line. McKinnon down low in the corner. Nathan McKinnon knocked down to the ground. Nurse takes it back then for the Oilers. Here comes Edmonton through center. Nurse ahead then for Szymanski. Through the zone then Malinsky gets it back. And cleared all the way to center. Natchez regroups with that puck. Up top then Colton comes in, fires it, and wide of Ingram. Thought he got room on that, but I guess not enough. Down low behind the net then Nelson. Battling forward here now on the right side up top Blackenberg. Shot will go back into the corner. Here's a Sean. Up top to Nichushkin. Cross ice pass to Blackenberg. And that puck goes wide of Ingram. At the point then Akan. Down low then to Colton. Colton battling for it then with Nurse. Nelson battling for it on the right side. Akan then at the point here for the Avalanche. Blackenberg fires it, and this one is cleared back to center. And that is an icing against the Oilers. I don't really know what you're saying then, Mile High. You're like talking about imagine having to watch another team because they're not in a state. Like who are you saying that to? Are you talking trash to yourself? Like I don't understand what you're trying to say. And yes, I am from Philly. And there's 2 teams in Pennsylvania, by the way. Face off here in the Edmonton zone. Murphy will give it back to Nurse. Darnell Nurse carrying it now through center. Ahead then to Nugent Hopkins, who will dump it down low into the Avalanche zone. It goes off the netting and out of play. 14:25. Why am I saying 12:25? 14:25 to go here in this third period. We have just crossed over the 1,000 view mark on this commentary stream. Thank you all so much. It is greatly appreciated. Here's Drury taking the draw here against Henrique. Kapanen on the right side then for Wallman. Jake Wallman regroups in his own zone. Back over then for Emberson. Malinsky battling for it down low. Tays off the boards then trying to get it to center. Malinsky carries it into the zone. Down the right side, Edmonton battling for it in the corner. Drury over to Henrique. Malinsky now battling for that puck. Lazar racing for it. Here's Brett Kulak. Carrying it now through center. Pass off the boards then for Landeskog. Down low now, Ekholm for Bouchard. Bouchard then to Savoy, who will bank it down low then into the Avalanche zone. Podkolzin fighting for it down low. Burns trying to get it back on the right side. Cleared back to center now as Bouchard regroups. Both goalies have played phenomenal tonight. Ekholm will dump it down low into the Avalanche zone. McDavid in the corner battling forward with Podkolzin. Puck is cleared back to center. Now Bouchard regroups with it now on the right side. Thrown to center. Landeskog will regroup with it now at center. Back down low then to Devon Tays. Tays now here in the Avalanche zone. Through center with speed. Nelson fires it. And that one is blocked off of Ekholm. Up top, Tays looks for options then. Pass back over to Kelly. Nichushkin on the right side then for the Avalanche. Delayed penalty here against the Oilers. And the Avalanche will go to the power play to Bouchard's frustration. And here in the third period, Colorado will get their third power play of the night. They have been unsuccessful on the previous 2. But we will see how this next one goes. We are still tied at 1 here in the third. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. We have crossed over the 5,600 subscriber mark for the channel. Thank you all so much. Flyers will be the underdogs, but they are playing with house money, so it's going to be a long series. They'll be a hard out for sure. People are saying they'll get swept. I don't believe that. I think the Habs are screwed against Tampa. Playoff Vazzy will be tough to beat for us. Yeah, that will be tough. That'll be a hard series for you guys. Welcome back, Hawks. So Avalanche power play coming up here now in this third period. We'll see what the Avs can do. They're 0 for 2 tonight. Take a look at the goaltender stats. On one side, you have Scott Wedgwood, who has made 24 saves on 25 shots, a .960 save percentage. And on the other side, Connor Ingram with a 21 saves on 22 shots, .955. The goaltenders have been the difference maker so far. Yeah, Montreal the underdogs for sure. I mean, like, anybody who tries to argue otherwise, it'll be difficult for them to beat playoff Vazzy and the Lightning, but the Bolts have struggled previously. Just need home ice advantage. So you guys need to win tomorrow, right? Technically. Power play coming up for the Avalanche. Face off here in the Edmonton zone. One back by the Oilers. Bouchard will clear it all the way back down low into the Avalanche zone. Wedgwood for Taze. Devon Taze will drop it back then for Natchez. Marty Natchez now moves it through center, down the right side. Natchez battling for it then with Nurse. Nick Waugh below the line then, down low for Landeskog. Here's Nathan MacKinnon. Below the line for the Avalanche. MacKinnon regroups it back up top. MacKinnon down the right side. Pass over then for Natchez. He fumbles the puck in his legs. Up top, Taze. Back to Natchez. Natchez to Taze. Shot on there is blocked. Oilers clear. Now Wedgwood will regroup here in his own zone. He'll give it back then for Taze. Behind the net here now. It's picked up by Natchez. Here's Natchez who will drop it back then for MacKinnon. MacKinnon into the zone. Will clear it around behind the net. Landeskog to Natchez. Up top to Taze. Taze back over to MacKinnon. MacKinnon up top to Taze, who will backhand it down low to the corner. Landeskog back to Ekholm, who will dump it down the other way. 35 seconds to go here on the Avalanche power play. Here's Taze. We'll drop it back then for Nichushkin. Nichushkin carries it through center. MacKinnon comes in, cross-ice pass. Battling for it then is Nelson. Henrique will take it back then for the Oilers. Adam Henrique down the right side, comes in, fires it, denied by Wedgwood. Good shorthanded break there. 10 seconds to go on the Colorado power play. It's pretty much done. Burns to Natchez. To Nelson on the right side, will bank it down low. Nichushkin up top to Burns. Power play will come to a close. Good kill by the Oilers yet again. Nelson to Burns. A shot saved by Ingram. Now Murphy back then for Nugent Hopkins. Approaching the halfway mark of period number 3. Delayed penalty here against the Avalanche. Podkolzin over to Nugent Hopkins. Nuge to Wallman. Wallman will drop it up top then for McDavid. McDavid up top. Bouchard to McDavid. Oilers have it. Poke checked away. And a whistle is blown dead at 10:06. So the Avalanche get a power play. The Oilers kill it off. And as a reward, they will get a power play of their own. 10:06 to go in the third. Massive opportunity here for Edmonton. And I believe it's on Jack Drury, if I saw correctly. So that means it's going to be a power play coming up. Oh, now you say that. Power play coming up for the Oilers. Shots 26-23 in favor of Edmonton. Face off here, one back then by the Oilers. Here's Bouchard. Slap shot denied by Wedgwood. On the right side, Podkolzin. Up top to Bouchard. Bouchard to McDavid. McDavid up top to Nuge. Cross-ice pass to Bouchard. Podkolzin. Below the line, then up top to Bouchard. Evan Bouchard over then for Podkolzin. Podkolzin to McDavid. McDavid cross-ice pass is blocked. McDavid over then for Nugent Hopkins. Blocked there by the Avalanche. They throw it back to center. And a whistle blown dead as Parker Kelly threw it out of the zone with his hand. And that caused a stoppage. And that's a penalty. That's a penalty against the Avalanche. Really? Wow. Parker Kelly threw the puck out of the zone with his hand. I've never seen that before. He just simply says, well, I'm going to throw this puck out of the zone. And that's a penalty. No way. That's hilarious. They're calling it closing hand on the puck. You don't see that very often, but it is a penalty. I don't know, Mile High. You say it's rigged, yet the Avalanche have had the same amount of penalties as the Oilers have. Or power plays as the Oilers have. I don't know if I'd call any of these calls rigged. I think Kelly throwing it out of the zone is just stupid. And they had the same amount of penalties before that. So I really wouldn't call it rigged. It's not like the Oilers have been the only team that has had power plays. So. All right. 5-on-3 here for the Oilers. Yeah, you can't call it rigged when your team makes a play like that. You can't call it rigged. Like, I mean, that you just don't look smart with that. I'm not calling you stupid, but like the moment your team takes a penalty, calling it rigged is not proper way to go with things. Power play here in the Avalanche zone. 9.5 minutes to go. 2-minute advantage for the Oilers. Bouchard at the point then for Edmonton. Cross ice pass to McDavid. McDavid to Nugent-Hopkins. Back over then to Roslovic. Up top then to Bouchard. Bouchard to McDavid. McDavid at center. Down low to Bouchard. Bouchard waits. Fires it. Save. Rebound in front. Denied by Wedgwood. Bouchard on the right side to McDavid. Connor McDavid up top. Fires it. Deflected wide of Wedgwood there as well. Roslovic to McDavid. McDavid down low. Roslovic to McDavid. McDavid at the point. Pass down low then to Nugent-Hopkins. Nuge, top of the circle, McDavid below the line. Pass over to Bouchard. He fumbled the puck. Bouchard to McDavid. McDavid at the slot to Nugent-Hopkins. Down low there. Up top then to McDavid. McDavid fires it, deflected in front and wide. Less than 20 seconds to go. Bouchard to McDavid. McDavid down low. And the pass goes wide. Roslovic at the point to McDavid. McDavid in front. And he's broken up there as well. First penalty's about to expire. Bouchard to McDavid up top. Nugent shot. Save. Rebound in front. And that one's just wide. Roslovic a great chance there. 30 seconds to go on the power play. McDavid. Back to Bouchard and it's cleared to center. Here's Bouchard carrying it into the zone. 15 seconds to go on the Edmonton power play. Down low in the corner, McDavid. Back over to Roslovic. Less than 10 seconds to go here on the Edmonton power play. McKinnon trying to clear. Power play winds down. Offsides against the Oilers. And what do you know? The Avalanche are going to kill this off. I wasn't saying that he can't say it's rigged, but I mean, like, a player on his team literally took the puck and threw it out of the zone. Like, that's not rigged. That's just your player making a bad play. I'm not saying that he can't say it's rigged. He can say whatever the heck he wants, but I'm just saying, like, you can't call that rigged. He throws the puck out of the zone. That's just a stupid play. Avs are in Calgary tomorrow. Wait, what? How's that possible? I thought they play... Ah, yes, that's right. For some reason, I thought they played Seattle on Wednesday for some reason. Power play is over. Good kill by the Avalanche. Edmonton will throw it down low. They'll regroup in their own end. Wallman to center to Henrique. About 7 minutes to go here in the third. We are approaching crunch time. On the right side, Podkolzin. Up top to Wallman. Shot on denied there by Wedgwood. Shots are now 29-23. And we are tied at 1. They play Seattle Thursday. Yeah, why are you saying just because he's from New Mexico he wouldn't understand? Come on, dude. Why are you going out where he lives? Like, that doesn't make any sense. He's saying he doesn't even live there either. They play Seattle Thursday? Okay. That's what I was like, I thought they played Seattle on Wednesday. I was like, there's no way they can play 3 days in a row. All right, that makes sense. I imagine they'll be resting all their guys in those games though. I think they're only playing their guys against the Oilers, so obviously they get time. So, whatever. Never been there. New Mexico, quite an interesting place, if I do say so myself. Breaking Bad. Great show. I haven't watched that in a while. I don't know if that guy from New Mexico is still in here. But it's been a while since I watched that. Better Call Saul was really good too. I really enjoyed that show. But I always watch my shows in the summer. But when I watch them, like I always watch the same shows. I need to really expand my show horizon. Or my TV horizon. Reaching for drinks that are unopened. Face-off coming up here now in the Colorado zone. The Oilers have outplayed the Avalanche here since, I would argue, they've scored the opening goal. 7-3 Oilers are the shots here in this game. Natchez to McKinnon. Down low, Murphy in the corner for Landeskog. Gabe Landeskog behind the net then for Murphy. Nurse trying to poke check it away. Up top then Kulak. Brett Kulak up to the point then to Malinsky. Malinsky up top, shot on there, saved by Ingram. 6.5 minutes to go here in regulation. We are still tied at 1. Here's Darnell Nurse. Clears it to center. Avalanche will regroup here in their own end now, trying to get this one at center. Spamming it in chat is not going to make me tell you. Bouchard holds it here now in the Edmonton zone. Up top then to Podkolzin. Shot on there goes wide. Kivi Ranta now battling for on the right side. Up top, Ekholm. He'll dump it down low. Kelly will clear it back to center. Here comes Kivi Ranta into the zone, trying to battle forward with Ekholm. McKinnon has 2 shots for whoever asked that. But please do not spam it in my chat. Here's Wah coming into the zone. McDavid battling for it now. Podkolzin, cross-ice pass. Here's Ekholm. He'll dump it down low into the Avalanche zone. 5.5 minutes to go here in the third period. Shots are 30-24. Thank you, Mile High. I appreciate it. Down low, Edmonton will try and clear to center. Roslovic battling for it then with Blackenberg. Blackenberg off the boards to center. And a whistle blown dead at 5:09. Believe the puck went out of play or it was an icing. Not exactly sure. Still a tie hockey game here in Edmonton. Should be a pretty darn good finish. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. Brings more people in the commentary. What's the prediction? I'm going to say the Avalanche win. I'm going to say the Avalanche win. Hopefully 2-1 in overtime. Need some overtime. How do I stay up during these games? I'm just used to it, man. I mean, this is like my 200th stream. Or I've done over 200 streams. I'm just used to it. Used to staying up this late for commentaries and all that stuff. Just used to it now, honestly. Kraken scored again. It's 3-2. Kraken making a comeback. We'll see if they'll be able to win, and maybe the Kings will, maybe the playoff race will live to fight another day. So, yeah, the Avalanche, again, this game doesn't mean that much to them. They're already locked into that Western Conference 1 spot. Obviously, you want to win every single game you play, but if they lose, it's not the end of the world. They could find out who they play in the first round by the end of tonight. If the Kings defeat the Kraken, that could be who they play. And my other computer is about to die now. Wonderful. So expect for the series previews to start releasing tomorrow. Hopefully I can get 2 of them or maybe 3 of them out tomorrow. At least 1 I'm going to try and get out tomorrow. As well as some of the more clinching videos. Flyers, Ducks, Kings videos tomorrow. And then some more of the elimination videos tomorrow as well. So a lot of content coming over on the channel the next couple of days. So stay tuned for that. Should be a fun next few days. We are in the final 5 minutes of regulation here in this one tonight. Oilers battling for on the right side in the Avalanche zone. McDavid will dump it down low into the Avalanche end furthermore. Wedgwood over then for Kulak. Burns will clear it to center. Here's Nathan MacKinnon with speed. MacKinnon, cross-ice pass coming in then is Natchez. He's tied up that puck. Oilers will carry it through center. Yep, those are the 3 series that are set. Here's Brett Kulak. Down low here in the Colorado zone. Kulak over then for a con. Banked into the Edmonton zone. Ingram. Chipped off the boards. Now Oilers will carry it through center. Henrique dumps it down low into the Avalanche zone. A con. Battling for it on the right side. Henrique below the line. Grabbed back then by the Avalanche. All good, Sharky. Here's Nichushkin. Packing up to move next week. Oh, boy. And 3:54 to go. We get a whistle here down low in the Edmonton zone. Some pushing and shoving. I will not be live tomorrow, sadly. We have 2 more commentaries to end off the regular season. Stars and Sabres and Golden Knights and Kraken. And that'll be it for the live commentaries in the regular season. So I appreciate all your guys' support this year, but only 2 more regular season commentaries before we start gearing up for the Stanley Cup playoffs later on tonight, or later on this week. Face-off outside of the Edmonton zone. One back then by the Oilers. Malinsky will dump it down low into the Oilers' end. Murphy below the line. Back over then to Roslovic, who will carry it through center. Nichushkin will backhand it down low. Out of his net to play it as Ingram. Off the boards then for Roslovic. Roslovic trying to dump it down low into the zone. Here come the Avalanche through center. Kelly fires it. Denied by Ingram. And they took away some of the Oilers shots. Why do I want people to comment but not read every comment? Make it make sense. I mean, I read your comment, dude. Like, I don't know what you're trying to get at. Like, I read your comments. I can't read every comment and commentate the games at the same time. I read most of the comments, but not every comment. So I'm sorry that you are annoyed at that, but I have to commentate the game. I'm not here to talk to you guys completely. That's not me ignoring you guys, but here's Savoya's shot. That one goes wide of the Avalanche net. Landeskog will dump it down low then into the Edmonton zone. Bouchard on the right side up top to Kulak. Kulak up top to Burns. Burns a shot. That one goes wide. Ingram battling for it. It's in the crease. Jabbing at that puck was Bouchard, and he holds it out of the back of the net. It was right there on the line. Yeah, was anybody else thinking that? That's a little disrespectful, dude. Like, I mean, I'm trying to commentate the game. I just think that's disrespectful. Like, I'm trying to commentate the game. If this was a Q&A session, then maybe. But then you can have that argument. But I'm trying to commentate a game at the same time, dude. Like, face off here in the Edmonton zone. I left my clock going by accident. 2:56 to go in regulation. Thank you, Sharky. I appreciate it. Down low now, Nurse. Battling for it on the right side with Natchez. Darnell Nurse clears it around behind the net. Then Henrique battling for it. Puck slides back to center then. Natchez here in the Colorado zone. Devon Toews regrouping with that puck. Toews to McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon here in the Avalanche zone. Toews will bring it into the Edmonton end. McDavid will carry it here now through center. A breakaway the other way. It's Roslovic. 1-0. He's in. Denied by Wedgwood. And the Avalanche will get it to center. Here's Toews. He'll drop it back for McKinnon. Toews to McKinnon. Down low behind the net then Bouchard. Over to Murphy. Bouchard now will carry it through center. Back over then for Doc. Colton Doc takes it down the right side. Backhand on there is saved by Wedgwood. Kelly battling forward here on the right side. Here's Waugh, who will dump it down low into the Edmonton zone. 1:40 to go here in period number 3. Waugh dumps it around behind the net. Kulak will clear it down low into the Edmonton zone. Below the line then Waugh battling forward with Ekholm. Szymanski behind the net. Bouchard off the boards to O'Connor. A shot. That one is blocked. Kelly up top to Burns. Shot on save there by Ingram. Ekholm banking it off the boards. Kelly battling forward as well. O'Connor will dump it around behind the net. Kulak cross ice pass. Burns a shot. And that one goes back down low behind the net. Last minute of play in regulation. Doc battling forward then with Drury. Shot on goes wide. Slides off the boards up to the point then Burns. Fires it down low. And a shot there from Malinsky is denied by Ingram at 48 seconds. Shots are 31 to 26, or maybe 27. 26. .48 seconds to go here in regulation. I don't know, Thomas. We'll see. Face off here now in the Edmonton zone. Nelson cleared off the boards. Edmonton will get it back to center. Here's Toews. Back over to Malinsky. Malinsky will clear it down low into the Edmonton zone. 35 seconds to go in the third. McDavid back over then for Murphy. Murphy below the Edmonton line. Back over then for Nurse. Darnell Nurse down low. Will carry it through center. Cleared back into the Colorado zone and an icing at 18.2 against the Oilers. Avalanche been putting on the pressure these last few minutes. Thank you, Habs and Sharky. I appreciate it. Shots are 31 to 26. 18 seconds to go. Nelson versus McDavid. Face-off is a tie-up down low. Natchez takes it back up top. McKinnon to Toews. Fires it wide of Ingram. Natchez down low below the line. 10 seconds to go. Natchez to McKinnon up top. Toews shoots it and denied by Ingram with 1.6 seconds on the clock. And things get physical furthermore here as they've been the entire game. A little under 2 seconds to go here. It is 4-2 Kings. Yeah, thank you, Thomas. One final draw, and we are going to overtime. 60 minutes was not enough. A scoreless first. 2 goals from Malinsky and McDavid. And a scoreless third period. And we are all set to go for overtime here in Edmonton. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. As we get ready for overtime, this should be an exciting finish. Game is on ESPN. So it was Malinsky from McDavid. The shots through 60 minutes. Edmonton 31, Colorado 27. Connor Ingram 26 saves on 27 shots. He has a .963 save percentage. Scott Wedgwood 30 saves on 31 shots. A remarkable .968. The goaltenders have been the difference makers here tonight. So the Oilers will get a point here. They will tie up the game. Or they will tie the Vegas Golden Knights for first place in the Pacific Division. The Oilers hold the tiebreaker. So there you go. Three-on-three overtime. It'll be McDavid, Bouchard, and Nugent-Hopkins versus Taves, Nelson, and McKinnon. Here we go. Overtime from Edmonton, and we are underway. Face-off is won back then by the Avalanche. Devon Taves will drop it back then for McKinnon. Here's Nathan McKinnon dropping it back for Natchez. Natchez carries it into the zone, loops it back around. Marty Natchez then up at the point. Natchez at the top of the circle. Back up to Taves. Taves will come and regroup around at center. McKinnon back over to Taves. Taves with some room, loops back around. Time winding down. Natchez here on the right side. Tries to clear it back to center. Malinsky carries it in. Malinsky fires it, denied there by Ingram. Bouchard back to McDavid. McDavid's got Nuge, who's going up ahead, but he couldn't get it to him. McDavid back to Bouchard. Fires it wide there of Wedgwood. Nugent-Hopkins will regroup here in his own end. Bouchard down low in the Edmonton zone. Evan Bouchard dumps it around Ingram. Savoy back down low behind the net. 3:45 to go in this overtime. With speed the other way is Roslovic. Tries to carry it around Malinsky. Roslovic tried to feed it up there. Grabbed back by Nichushkin. Avalanche will hold it here in their own zone. Valeri Nichushkin will carry this one through center. It's a 2-on-2. Savoy will backhand it around behind the net. Now Jake Wallman will carry it through center. 3 minutes to go in overtime. Wallman takes it down low. Tried to feed it up top. Kapanen at the point will come back to center and regroup. Kapanen moves it down the right side. He's got some room. Comes to center. He runs into Wedgwood. And that's a penalty against the Oilers. Goaltender interference against Kapanen, whether or not it is intentional. The Avalanche are going to get their 4th power play of the game here in overtime. That is absolutely huge. Still in shock after 14 years, the Sabres are the Atlantic Division champions. I know, right? Going from no playoffs to winning the Atlantic is crazy. It is absolutely nuts. Colorado power play coming up here in overtime. The Avs are 0 for 3 tonight on the man advantage. Still no shots so far here in this OT frame. For either side, I don't believe either, right? There has been no shots. Or no, the Avalanche have one. I apologize. The Avalanche do have a shot. Colorado's going to take their timeout, assess their options, see what they can make happen here on this power play. Colorado win, we'll see. We have 90 people here in this chat. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Face off here in the Edmonton zone. One back then by the Avalanche. Here's Taves at the point. Back to McKinnon. Shut on goes wide of Ingram. And out of play. The entire NHL is in shock. How Buffalo just got good. Yeah, they really just picked it up at the right time. I don't even know if it was the GM being fired. All of the like they were winning before he got fired. All of the sudden they just started going on a run. It was really, really incredible. Face off here in the Edmonton zone, won by the Avalanche. Taves to McKinnon. McKinnon, a 4-on-3, shot deflected yet again, and out of play as well. Lindy Ruff made them good. Yeah. That's part of it too. Got to have a good coach. Face off here in the Edmonton zone. It'll be McKinnon versus Nugent Hopkins. Face off here is one back by the Avalanche. Taves at the point, back to McKinnon. McKinnon will drop it back to Taves. Cross-ice pass. Nature's a shot, and that one is denied. McKinnon at center will bring it into the zone. Nathan McKinnon up top, then to Taves. Taves to McKinnon. McKinnon cross-ice pass. Nature's up top. Taves to Nature's, and that one goes wide of Ingram. Bouchard will get it and clear it all the way down the other way. Wedgwood picks it back up then for the Avalanche. We'll give it up for Taves. 2 minutes to go in the overtime frame. Here's Natchez through center. Natchez will backhand it around the Edmonton net. Now Ekholm will try and get it in clear. And Henrique will throw it to center. Solid kill here so far by the Oilers. 45 seconds to go on the Avalanche, 4-on-3. McKinnon dekes through the D, can't get the shot on. Natchez on the right side to McKinnon. McKinnon comes in, pass over, denied by Ingram. What a stop. Here's McKinnon, battling for it now with Bouchard. McKinnon up top to Taves. Taves over then to Natchez. Natchez to Taves. Cross-ice pass down low. They score. It's off the post. Oh, my Lord. I thought that was in. How on earth did that stay out? Off the post and out. Unbelievable. And just when you thought the Avalanche had it, nope. Wow. What a stop. By the post, I guess. That was nuts. Wow. Off the post and out. Landeskog had them beat. He had me beat too. I thought I was in. Wow, that was close. A minute 12, 18 seconds to go on the power play. Face-off, won by the Avalanche. Tays, up top to McKinnon. McKinnon, a shot, off the post again! How on earth? Tays to Natchez. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Natchez, back to Tays, a shot denied. Rebounds in the crease. Oilers get it back. They'll clear to center. Nearly getting it there was Kapanen. He'll take it down low behind the net. Kapanen below the line, pass in front. McDavid trying to get it back. McDavid, back to Kapanen. Puck will get cleared to center. Bouchard, back to McDavid. Off the boards then for Ekholm. 2 post hits for the Avalanche. McDavid, cross ice pass to Bouchard. Bouchard to McDavid, comes in to center, a shot, blocked, rebound in front, and that one's cleared away. Kept in the zone, though, by the Oilers. Avalanche battling for it. Getting it down low is Malinsky. 10 seconds to go in overtime. Tays, down low for Malinsky. Through center, Landeskog. Back then to Malinsky. Below the line then to Tays. And we will go to a shootout here in Edmonton. What a sequence to end this one. Holy smokes. 2 post hits for the Avalanche. They somehow can't get it done. What a phenomenal game by both Ingram and Wedgwood. And it will come down to them here in the shootout. First time we've seen a shootout here in April, and the first time we've seen one since early March. In the first live commentary of March, when the Flyers faced off against the Maple Leafs. This is only the, I believe, like the 6th shootout of the year. We haven't commentated that many this year. There's only been maybe a handful. It's really shocking. Wow, even the post is marked up after those post hits. Wow. Shots are 32-31 in favor of the Avalanche. Come on, Oilers, we'll see. That was insane. How did that stay out? I've never seen anything like that before. 60 minutes was not enough. We will get a shootout. Coming out first is Connor McDavid. We will put it down to zeros here on this shootout to determine the goals and stuff, so it's easier for you guys. Connor McDavid is the first shooter for the Oilers. And here he takes it down the right side. McDavid comes in, moves to center slowly. He scores! Connor McDavid. That was pretty easy. 1-0 Oilers here in the shootout. Set the tone, Connor. Yep. McDavid comes right in there, stick handling through center. That is his first shootout goal in a live commentary. He now has an overtime goal, a hat trick, and a shootout goal, all in live commentaries. Valeri Nichushkin will now shoot for the Avalanche. 3 out of 7 this year for Nichushkin. He'll come in slowly through center, fires it, he scores! Val Nichushkin ties it up. And just like that, a goal for each team. For those who may not remember, our first Edmonton commentary of the year against Calgary, that shootout went to 9 rounds. Thank you, Chris. Have a good night. Picking it up now at center is going to be Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who will get the next attempt for the Oilers. Nugent-Hopkins comes in through center slowly, moves center, he scores! Now Ryan Nugent-Hopkins makes it 2-1 Oilers. And now the Avalanche will have to respond. Updating the all-time stat sheet here. These are first-time shootout goals for all of these players. And now coming down the other side to shoot for the Avalanche is going to be Marty Natchez. Here's Marty Natchez coming down the right side, moves in, he scores! What a goal by Marty Natchez! And there's 4 goals in the first 2 rounds. It's now 2-2. Wow, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this before. That's already 4 shootout goals in this one tonight. Welcome back to another edition of Will We See a Save? Will we see one tonight? Jack Roslovic will be the next one to shoot here. He does not have a shootout goal in a live commentary. Here's Roslovic picking it up at center. Down the left side, comes in, denied by Wedgwood, and there's the first save of the night. And now Ingram will have to make the save, otherwise the Avalanche will get the win. That's a good move there by Wedgwood. Roslovic tried to beat him there on the 5-hole. I think Wedgwood got enough of it to keep it out. And to potentially get the win is Nathan MacKinnon. Will he win the game for the Avalanche? Game on his stick. MacKinnon skates directly down center, slows down, he scores! Nathan MacKinnon wins the game for the Avalanche, and they take it 2-1 in the shootout. A frustrated Connor Ingram slams his stick on the net, and the Avalanche defeat the Oilers by a final score of 2-1. What a phenomenal game that was. It went the whole stretch all the way down to the end. And Nathan MacKinnon with the game-winning goal in the shootout. 5 total goals in the shootout. Wow. And the Avalanche get the win. All right, that'll do it for me. We will be back on Wednesday to commentate the Buffalo Sabres and the Dallas Stars, as well as the Golden Knights and the Kraken. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Apologies for me getting a little bit distracted here at points in this commentary. Sometimes there will be people who come in and try and be negative. Throughout all of that, you still have to be positive and ignore the hate. And that person clearly definitely needs to take a long look in the mirror. Maybe they're young. Maybe they're young and sensitive. It is what it is. But again, to the haters, keep on watching. To the fans, keep on watching as well. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good night, guys. I will see you in the next stream.